Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the All Invitational Round of 8. I am your host, Uncommon, and today we have a great series of games in here for the quarterfinals of the 13th season of the All Invitational, currently hosted and run by everybody's favorite poof, the ShazamPoof. And I say it again, live here and on this recording, I do want to thank Honey Badger, Goner, GG, Tech4, Adam the Spartan, and Boo Radley for hosting me here today. Boo Radley being one of the other very prominent figures in All In. If you haven't checked this stream out, go give him a whirl, give him a wink, say Uncommon sent you, and say hello. So, that being said, for those watching live, for those watching on YouTube, 3 games, 3 matches, if you will, game set match. Rhizer versus Grippe, Gotquail versus Boo, and ShazamPoof versus eXiled. Nycro did take the game. Wagon forfeited the 4 set, so we won't get a chance to see that. But we do have 3 exciting games here that are going to lead into and determine who is going to be competing in the semifinals, round of 4, which will be broadcast early next week, probably a Monday or Tuesday. More information, stay tuned to the All Invitational chat in Discord. I usually try to give about 24 hours notice when I find time, and more notice if I can help it. So I don't want to hold us up too long. Right, we have Starcraft to watch, and y'all have been sitting so patiently and so lovingly for this. So we're going to go jump into game number 1, starting from the top to the bottom. Rhizer versus Grippe. This is a ZVP for the ages. This is going to be fun. This is going to be one of those load replays offline because we are so frequently blessed by Starcraft updates. So recently blessed. So you also should get these replays as we finish each game. I believe my bot here, SC2 Replay Stats, has been dropping replays in chat, and I don't think this is going to be any different. We're probably going to get these as well. So being said, you don't want to see me, and you don't want to see this overlay. Not when we're doing it this way, folks. All right, we are playing a best of 3. Our first player spawning in the top left-hand corner in the orange, the Zerg. It is Grippe. His opponent spawning in the bottom right-hand corner in purple, the Protoss, hoping to close. I would say close this out. We're on the first game, hoping to destroy his opponent in the next 4 or 5 best of 5 rounds. It is it's Rhizer. I'm gonna give you guys some absolute fantastic sound real quick. There we go. Let's get this going. We are gonna see, looks like a relatively fast hatch here. Rhizer putting it down at 16. This is to prevent this probe here from getting up there and getting to his business, putting down that pylon just a little earlier to kind of prevent those games from being played. We are getting a gateway dropped here for Rhizer. Now this is going to be hopefully a fantastic learning lesson for me. I spent a good amount of time today bashing my face in against Protoss. So I'm watching Grippe here for some lessons learned. He is going to go hatch, pool, followed by gas. Nothing too absolutely crazy here at this time. Take another look at his opponent. Looks like he wants to expand down here, and we're going to get ourselves into a kind of a standard game. We'll make it to the mid game before one of these players taps out. Check over at this third, get this nice patrol route. Take some minerals, because why not? Spare a little bit of APM to deny some minerals to your opponent, and that probe is going to hang out on that third base and try to see when Zerg expands. That's right. Tom says he just really does this tournament to get replays from good players. Sometimes it's tough. There's really, the best players don't send their stuff here. Right? You can't just find beyond replays on the easy. It's nice, it's nice to take a look and see what everybody else is doing around your level and better than your level. What are they doing different than you? Where can you improve in your game? We are going to see a Stargate go down here in the back with Rhizer. We'll see what the first unit that comes out of that is and see what he wants to do with it. And the Adepts going out. The Adepts and the Lings meeting in the middle of the map. Adept teleporting forward and the Lings coming down here. A lot, really just information gathering for the Lings. There's not a whole lot they can necessarily get done, but they're going to want to see everything. They're going to want to see the starport. Actually, if those probes were to pick them off before they had a chance to see the starport, that's a lot of information. On the other end, though, Adepts can be damaged. They can be very scary unit here, and it looks like he's actually going to deny the information to Grippe. So Grippe has not seen that starport yet, and they're going to have to play some games here as they try to prevent Zerg from taking that third. Looks like the drone instantly goes over, makes a geyser to keep himself from getting picked off. Good positioning here from the Adept as he finds himself in the mineral line, keeping him from getting surrounded, and he's going to get away. Back here, taking a look around, we're just kind of macroing up. You see Grippe's actually got a... Oh, there we go. He's going to have to send this Overlord in. He's now going to see the starport, and if he didn't see starport before, there is the Phoenix knocking out that Overlord. A little bit of early mineral growth here for Grippe. Interesting to see what he's going to do with this. Thank you, Connor, for the 50. I call it a party. All in greater than beyond. Thank you, Rhizer. I think if we just played beyond, right, like 30v1, we'd have him. Like, all in is greater than beyond. There is an Adept down here. He's going to see any move outs. It looks like Zerg's not interested in engaging him. And this Phoenix is going to go around and clean up all Overlords. This feeling, you know, it doesn't happen every game at my level. And so when it does happen, and when these Phoenixes, when the air units, like one air unit cleans out all of my Overlords, so much money being invested back into that. And he's going to go down. It looks like he's going to be on a warpath, and he's going to clean up. Oh, he's just going to miss. He possibly just going to miss this Overlord as he moves over. We did the Oracle come in here. He did get one kill. Looks like he's trying to find some drones, but the Queen was able to push him away. Gonna get that Larva pick and that Spore Crawler in a good position at the front. As he's kind of actually had a good path to catch that. He is taking lots of damage, though. He's gonna get that Queen. He's gonna have to back up and take another direction. The Spore Crawler is going down probably about the same time he saw the Phoenix, because that is a devastating feeling. A couple more Adepts being warped in, moving over here to help this probe take care of, help this probe put down that third base. Nope. Oh, that was unfortunate. Looks like we had a Nexus go down in the wrong spot, was canceled, and then replaced instantly by a pylon, which was not what he wanted. Canceled again before we can get the Nexus in the wrong place. That is, oh man, that's rough. Honestly, not at the end of the game, but it does feel bad. If that was maybe earlier, and he had to push away a rush, it'd have been worse. But it does not do good things to the Pride when you put down and have to cancel that many buildings without pressure. There's a Forge, Twilight Council, and a Robotics Bay going down for Rhizer. So he begins to tech up, and kind of he's slowing down and aiming at the army composition he wants. This Immortal's going to come out, and if we should see, take a look around his opponent. Lots of Queens. I actually really like this play. He's got a Queen, 5 Queens total. Means only need 3 for injects. 2 can join the army and push back defenses as he continues to macro up, get this Larva out, and maybe start pushing his creep spread forward in direction. This Ling over here, seeing the expansion, seeing the actually 2 shield batteries going down to protect this Nexus. And again, this constant, I like this by Grippe, this constant maneuvering around the map, 1 Ling at a time. But we are going to see 2 Oracles coming in, trying to get a poke, and let's see what damage they find. Well, they might just miss you. They're gonna see the drone coming down here. If he was paying any attention, but he's gonna get pushed away by 2 Spore Crawlers. Oh, almost losing that Oracle. 1 hit point. This Queen could sneeze on it, and he's gonna see that he just missed that hatchery, just missed that drone. Overlord being pulled back. Overlord speed, though, giving him some breathing room, giving him a chance to come back as this Queen is coming to save the day. There's the Oracles again coming back to the fray. And it looks like he's going to get 1 Overlord, as this Queen should be able to push back this Phoenix. Now that very agile, swift Phoenix. All right. Oracles continue to roam around the map as he's slowly pushing out his pylons, both for vision, early warning, and potential wall off up in this area. We take a quick look at the unit tab. It is 66 probes to 62 drones. However, it looks like both these players are just about to start exploding. We do have a Colossus on the field. A Colossus hovering over an Immortal here, making full use of his robotics facility, of this robotics bay. Blink is on the way. +1 ground weapons on the way. Now he's starting to expand on these gateways. It looks like we're moments away from just a massive expansion from the Protoss player, getting the army he wants. Lots and lots of sentries here to help maneuver the battlefield. A couple mutas now actually gathering up for Grippe as he's moving across the map to try to get some damage done. I swear there's some music in this game. I must have muted it at the end of this. I will make sure to try to get that back on. As they're going to find some good damage here at the bottom. The army of Rhizer is going to have a hard time shooting up as he's focusing down this robotics facility. These sentries getting into a good position, taking down 1, taking down 2. Oh, even getting it before the Colossus comes out and getting away with most of their mutas intact. Really doing a fantastic job here of getting some harassment done. Tagged them, though, so they're going to know where they're flying around, can really maneuver around this. But that's a building he didn't want to lose, and he's already rebuilding a robotics facility. 1 second before the Colossus comes out. That hurts, and that's really going to stall his army out. He did get a good chance to see everything his opponent had, though. And really, it doesn't matter if you know where they're at. This is a hard thing to... It's a hard thing to keep up with, these mutas moving around this map so frequently. Blink is going to do a little bit there for you, taking a few good hits on those mutas. So they're able to come down here, just continue to pick off more probes. And this really keeps Rhizer on his side of the map, something he doesn't want to be doing. He needs to be on the other side with his opponent, adding pressure. You can't let the Zerg kind of sit there unmolested for this long. And now he has a good opportunity to kind of... There we go. He gets tagged again. It'll be very difficult for him to kind of maneuver around this for a few moments, maybe going the long way around. See the creep spreading nice here for Grippe. And this is what we talk about when we're like, we want to watch better players and see what they do. The answer is light muta, right? Is what we're seeing. We're seeing light mutas. We're not seeing any more mutas being produced. This is not an army composition that you want to group up. Grippe there at the bottom. F Protoss. That might be a little bit of a spoiler down there as something happened in this game he is not very happy with. The army, however, is deciding to move out. While these mutas can be mostly ignored, or at least Rhizer decided these mutas can be mostly ignored, as they're going to get this pylon, and their army is going to amass on the other side. With a Colossus in the Warp Prism. We're going to do some Colossus drops, which is a fantastic thought. He's going to come over here and try to get more pylons to disrupt the production. And he's going to get some Warpins back at home to take care of that. And really, let's see what we have here. This is... It's a good ball, a good blink. These Colossus are getting a massive amount of damage done. 2 kills for one of these Colossus already, and that's not counting... Oh, absolutely split his army in half. He's stasised half his army. Half these Hydras are now useless. They're not going to be able to join the fight. And at this point, Rhizer can take the fight he wants. He's going to put shields down where he wants them. He's going to get Colossus splash damage. He's going to stand in that bile, get a nice blink on top of these Ravagers. The Hydralisk come back into play, but he's able to get some of these force shields off as Queens are trying to join in the fray. He's taking care of one half of the army. He's now coming in to blink into the other half of the army, getting good surrounds as Immortal is putting out so much damage. 7 kills for that Immortal. It looks like Grippe might just be able to push this back, but at the cost of so much. As Rhizer absolutely taking a very efficient fight and coming back home to regroup. So a little bit of lag here. I'm told I'm getting a little bit of lag here in this stream. To say it's laggy, one say it's not. Nothing I can really do at the moment. We have a back and forth, a fuck Protoss and a fuck Zerg from the players currently in this as they're watching their replay unfold here. Throwing a couple of Zealots in. I like this Zealot harass. It's not something I have to deal with very often where I'm at, but it's going to really send this pressure, kind of split Grippe's attention as he's pushing in 2 different locations, or pushing across the map right now, trying to get this fourth from Rhizer. And they're going to get a good surround over here, force a response from the Protoss. If he can get this and run away, it'll be fantastic damage, really stalling out the continued economy of Rhizer as Zerg continues to sit on 4th bases. Now, on the other end of the map, these zealots coming in to get a little bit of damage done, but there's just an army at home. That Grippe has been able to respond to this, and he's going to try to do a recall. He's going to get 3 zealots out of there, and he's going to get them back home over here to the third. This is going to be this nice back and forth now as each of these opponents try to find the right opener. We get this in Zerg, though. They get a little bit ahead in supply. Nothing entirely to worry about right now, as Rhizer has a tech advantage. Zerg is just going to have the numbers advantage just for a bit, as Roach Ravager is very easy to swing it hard on. That being said, he also has been more or less left alone for most of this game, allowing him to get up to this economy, which is very unfortunate here for Rhizer. It's really going to come down to positioning, micro, and who can really take the good fight. It's anybody's game at this moment. Looks like they're going to poke back and forth here as the armies play the dance of positioning with a handful of Dropper Lords coming, full of Roaches coming to the main base of Rhizer. This is really going to push him in multiple directions, and it looks like he's pulling him in so many places. He's got this small attack coming over here. Is causing Rhizer to pull his entire force in response. But the main attack, the real attack's over here, the natural, and he's going to have to split off his army to answer it. But intercepting it is Banelings. Banelings, Hydras, really delaying anything from this army. We have a drop in the main with Roaches. We have a drop in the natural with Hydras. And the main army of Rhizer is just so far out of position, trying to watch from the flank, from the rear, trying to protect that 4th base. But these Hydras are getting so much damage done. As they're picking off probe after probe after probe. It is now 49 workers to 71. And Zerg has all the opportunity to come in and pincer this if he wanted. Roach is still doing damage up there in the main. Rhizer being split in multiple directions now as he's trying to pick this off. 181 supply to a dwindling 126, as it looks like he was able to repel the majority of this attack now. Although these drop alerts are coming back into position as they're coming in here to continue to disrupt the continued production power of the Protoss. Here they come, Stutter stepping in here, popping the 4th, popping out more workers. 71 to 38 workers. The supply continues to wonder. Nice blink. Nice forward blink, offensive blink there, trying to pick off the rest of these units, and these Roaches are going to fall. But back in the main, it's another story altogether. As more Roaches continue to power down key structures, knocking out pylons, knocking out cannons. And there's not even a heavy macro here required for Grippe. This is a 4th resource. He's really draining of his opponent. Rhizer is back home. He's expanded to a 5th. He's got a sizable army still on the other side of the map, and Rhizer feeling confident in his ability to push across is going to do exactly that. He's going to find this 5th. He's going to see a couple things running away. Deciding, let's see what he decides to take this 5th. Yep, looks like he's going to add this pressure here and have a small trade, as a couple of Roaches are still on the other side of the map. This is a nice ramp. A couple more Banelings there. One's going to get away. These spine crawlers hoping to find a good position. If anything, it's going to delay the army from moving forward as they try to take out the spine crawlers. Banelings coming forward. There's the blink. There's the GG, and Grippe takes the first game. Nope. I need to close this. Yes. Starcraft needs to close. Hey, look at that. 5 cheers from ShazamPoof. C2S switcher. Not responding. Close that program. Close that program. Let's get back into Starcraft. Thank you again for the cheers. You are fantastic and a lovely human being. Oh, that's the wrong window. That's Vegeta fighting. That's training. That's what I was doing earlier today. If you weren't watching, I was playing games. That's it, right? Playing games, focusing on those fundamentals like I like to do. So we are back in the right screen, and I'm going to fix a few settings here. I'm going to make this a little more professional. Let me get my scene switcher to the right scene. We call this banter stream. That's what you're getting right now, ladies and gentlemen. Is light banter. So, all right, go into replays. Go into game number 2. Pause for a moment. I was going to do something. Music. Let's take a look at that music. That felt quiet. Do I not have... There we go. Let's pop up that music. Give y'all some background. Grippe says he's out. This matchup tilts me too much. But he did take that first game. We're going to go into game number 2. This one is on Black-Pink. We're going to load it up. Solo play. Garner GG, very supportive today. Thank you again for the host. Thank you for the cheers. ShazamPoof, watching those Brits ads, getting those back in. Thank you as well as we move ourselves into game number 2. I might have to just put on Twitch music in the background if this isn't gonna, if they ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna cue that up. I'm gonna talk about Blackpink for a while though. Let's take a look. Best of 3. The first winner was Grippe. All right. I mean, this is something. There's some. Let's put some slow chip tunes or adventure tunes in here. You know what? I don't know if I can actually. YouTube. There's a. I know what playlist I need. Where you at? Where is you at? There you go. Monster Cat, I believe, is absolutely fine, and it won't ruin any of the sound on my YouTube. Just make sure the volume's down. Yeah, let me know if this is good. Let me know if this is good. Let me know if this works for you as we introduce our players spawning in the top right-hand corner. The purple Protoss, 1 game behind in game number 2. It is Rhizer. His opponent in the bottom left-hand corner, the orange Zerg, it is Grippe. I like Grippe. Can we call him Grippe? Can we just make that a thing? Grippe. Grippe. All right, we do have this funky little probe coming up here on the ramp. He's going to get some information. And the information he's going to get is, okay, nothing crazy. No pull down right now. I see a gas. I'm brave. I'm a brave boy. I'm going to go in the middle of all these minerals. He's going to see the pool. He's seen the natural. And in response, he's going to drop a building. And that building's a cybernetics core. So very standard openings here. Nothing crazy coming across the map. Looks like we're going to get into another mid-game. This probe over here in a good position to see anything coming across the other side. Or anything coming across. In a good position to see the third base is really what we're getting after. So take a look across the map. I'm going to watch this Overlord positioning. Where does he like to send it? Because this one came from here, and it looks like it's come straight up and then started to move over. Good location for future scout. This one traveling in a position that's going to let him see incoming enemy, right? If I'm watching this right, it's going to let him see any push-outs. I'm looking for that little green dot. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, that's selective, don't I? I'm silly. No, he's selected. All right, looks like I don't know where it's at. I can't see it, so we're going to move on. We'll come back and see where he lands. But Overlord positioning, right? It's that science of, are you going to make every unit you have useful? Not all players have that capacity. I know it took me a long time to actually sit down and go, well, I should think about this in my matchups. Here we go. A little bit of drone fighting over here. He's going to send these lings. It looks like he's going to send some links to help him clear this up so he can get his third base down. But this actually hero drone, is going to get the kill on that probe. As more Overlords move out on the map to get the vision that they so desire. This Adept here, hoping to catch some lings. Is going to find his shade his way up here to the mineral line. He's going to cancel that at the last second. A couple lings here actually pushing up at the front base, falling to this Adept. Maybe a little bit of multitasking issue here as he's trying to find a good place for this Adept as his lings are on the other side of the map. And these shades, they're nice. They require very, very minimum. This was that like 4th resource we talked about. They require very minimum from Rhizer, and they continually put this pressure on. But Grippe over here now, he's going to get this around on this Adept, and that'll be the end of his business there. And there we go. Here's this Phoenix now. He's out again. He's looking for Overlords. He's trying to get some damage done. Pushing him back. Looks like he's got a pretty good scouting pattern. He knows that they're looking for the third base. Once he's done here, he's going to come over here and check for this. Dropper Lord. He's going to try for the Dropper Lord move. As these lings come to push the front. I don't see an immediate response here, actually, from Rhizer as he's flooding lings in to the front. And there might be Adepts here. But this is a response. You're having to put down gateway. You put down gateways in response to this. Your Phoenix is going to get this Overload. They're not going to be a continual drop. But now you have lings in the back. You have lings you have to answer with in the front. And as long as he doesn't stand on that Oracle, he's going to get a good and significant amount of damage done. As he's going to move these 7 lings back down here to the bottom. Try to get a couple more probes. It looks like he's going to pull the probes in. He's going to wipe this out. And potentially stop this push. It looks like the Adept here is all that it's going to take to close it out. Now, does this gateway get canceled at the last minute, or does he let this finish? If he lets this finish, it is a good wall, but he'll have to tear something down to move out, and that will be a gateway. There we go. There's the cancellation. There's the Adept being put back in the position. And back home, we take a look at the Zerg and what he's been up to. He's at 37 drones. He looks like he stopped droning for a moment. He's got the Baneling nest up. Those floods of Lings put him back a little bit economically, and he's now got to defend against these incoming Oracles. But he's seen them. He knows they exist. And actually, here they are, 2 of them at a time, working their way down here. They could find this Queen out of place. If this Queen's not protected by the Spore Crawler, that is more than enough. It looks like we are going to see some Spore Crawlers pushing this back, as these Adepts are going to try to get more damage here down in the natural. All right. There's a third going down for Protoss. About the same time we saw last game. This game is unfolding in a very similar fashion with just small differences. We did have the drop. Was successful, and Rhizer was a little less successful with his Adept play. Not Adept play, excuse me, his Oracle play. He is going to get plenty of Overlords pushed back. If I look over here, we do have a Ling taking the job of an Overlord. They took our jobs! Quicker. Oracle and Phoenix actually coming over here. Looks like they're going to try to find some more damage as a pair. These Queens coming up here in response. They get into position from Grippe. As the Lings decide to, get around the map. Get some presence here, right? Don't sit at home. Use these units. You spent money on them. They're a sacrifice for economy. And you want to get something done with them. And it looks like it's the right timing for him to come across this map with a Ling Flood. Coming around the long way to try to get that surround here. Doing some micro actions, being going to be pushed away, however, by the Oracles. Energy for Ling's not necessarily a good trade in his favor, but it is going to pull the Oracles back for a little bit from his AO. I do like the double shield batteries. They go a long way for protecting probes and fighting units, obviously near the base. Makes those harasses mildly easier to respond to. We still have a Ling over here watching for the put down of the 4th. Looks like we going for more observers. I believe we already saw one on the map. If I check the unit tab, yeah, we have an observer. He's in position kind of here, kind of an interesting place to be. Actually an Archon drop I missed completely. Being dropped into the main of Grippe. Getting 4 kills so far between them. Ling's finding a hard time getting us around. These Queens are going to push away the Warp Prism, however, as Mutas have joined the fray. Mutas really going to keep that Warp Prism in check, or at least put that fear of Mutas in them as they actually move forward across the map now to try to get something done on the other side. Let's see. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see where he stops on Muta production. So he's got 3 more on the way. He's got 1 more on the way. He's got 4 total. That's, is that his magic number? Is he going to stop there? He's going to catch this Zealot moving across the map, kind of maneuvering back and forth, trying to keep an eye on this Warp Prism. Looks like he's coming back here to kill it. I'm going to watch that Warp Prism. The problem here is this Warp Prism has Archons in it. So as much as you want to come pick on this Warp Prism, he's carrying a heavy load. That load. Oh, there we go. There's the Lings around. You can kind of force these Archons back in here if you keep the Lings underneath the Warp Prism. He's got to do a lot more juggling, a lot more management here. And you're going to get the Warp Prism. You're going to get this around these Archons. 10 health each. Get the shields, and that's game. As he's dropped down a 4th here behind that harassment. Taking a quick survey of the Zerg. He's still on Aspire. It is +1/+1 for both of them. +1/+0 for both of them. +2/+0 started for both of them at approximately the same time. They're kind of in the same place on upgrades. But the Hydralisk in speed has Hydra start to come out, and Storm. Storm is a game changer. Storm. I tell you, if you guys have tips on how to handle Storm, let me know, because my response to Storm is to lose. Banelings and Storm. And maybe not tanks. Here these Oracles coming in here with some more energy. Getting a tag on those Mutas. But they're going to be able to freeform chase these away for a bit. Just kind of attack, move directly on those units. We do have a move out of Phoenixes, though, trying to even... Maybe a really strong response of Phoenixes. You do have that Starport is going to allow them some easier fights. If they kind of commit to some harassment. That'll also be a lovely thing here, as the Hydralisks are trying to decide whether or not to commit to coming back to this, as the army of Grippe kind of stutters back and forth. He's going to get a handful of Hydras on this, which is going to do a lot towards keeping those Phoenixes alive, but it looks like they're starting to get boxed in here, escaping very narrowly along this way. Oh, are they going to get out? Yeah, they are. And this is at, like, really taking up a lot of Grippe's time here, trying to make sure these Phoenixes don't find themselves in the mineral line. Taking a look at the army, though, moving out in a nice little line. Baneling's morphing in the back, going to give Hydralisks a lot of time to catch up. Looks like he's going to try to dive in on these Overseers, but he's going to get pushed back by these Hydralisks. Lots of damage being put down on those Phoenixes. Oracles over here. The Air Army really trying to be out on the field here for Rhizer as he tries to maintain a presence on the map, keep his opponent back. Very, very well done on tripping that stasis ward. Baneling connect the middle. There's the storms, and the answer is Hydralisks melt. They got to get out of position. Good spread here from the Hydras, taking the fight that they wanted and then getting out of there before it got even worse. These units, so these Banelings actually might not be sacrificed. They might actually get something done there as they go and explode. More Banelings being morphed over here. It looks like he's going to stay on Ling Bane Hydra. Very, very strong combination. It's just a little less mobile than one part of his opponent's army, and it's going to be this like cat and mouse of air units flying across the map, trying to find damage wherever they can. Where Queens, on the other hand, trying to prevent that damage from happening. Take a quick look at the upgrades. They are +2/+0. Taking a quick look around at the tech structures, we have not had any move to Hive Tech for the Zerg. Looks like the Mutalisks are trying to find damage here. That is a lot of pylons and a lot of structures being powered. A little bit of Oracle harass on that side of the map, and looks like the Phoenixes are going to come clean up these mutas, no problem. Two Oracles kind of sit patiently, like right here, but the Queen's kind of in position to handle them. Nice little creep spread as he's moving around one side of the map here, but actually attacking from the other. We are seeing two move outs of the army. Kind of this dance is now beginning of how are they going to interact. The armies are very similar size. The Protoss actually a little heavier on the army supply after taking a decent engagement in the middle, and really demanding a lot of work out of Grippe. They're going to be doing some. It looks like they're going to be clumping up, trying to get some good storms in here. The storms and the Immortals. The number of Immortal Archon Templar is disgusting right now. Both equal on upgrades. It does look like he's clashing just a little early in upgrades, about to finish. But he split his army. Grippe split his army in such a fashion that he ran into a stasis mine on one side, lost a significant portion of his combat power there in the flank, and it looks like he's going to melt away here as Grippe has got less than 50 army sitting on the battlefield in response to this. He is going to clean up these units with just the right number of zealots, as this army has taken out the fourth, and they're going to continue to move forward, hoping to get the third and maybe that fifth up there in the top corner. Banelings being morphed, defensive Banelings being morphed right here. A good number of Queens with the right kind of micro would do a lot of damage, but he's able to pick up 4 of those Queens, take them out of the fight completely, and there's the GG. Rhizer ties up the game 1-1. Boy, let me go ahead and fix that on the score sheet. It is now 1-1, Rhizer v Grippe. I'm going to have to load this game back up as we are in old replays. Thank you there, ShazamPoof, for the 5 cheers. You are my brother. I have you and your back covered. Alright, I'm going to quit out of this. How are we feeling about that background music? Does that help at all? Does that distract you more than it helps? It just felt really quiet there, and I wanted to liven it up. Pump it up, pump it up. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Let's see. Let's go to this game number 3. Game number 3 is going to take place on Neon Violet Square. I do love this map. Let's go and queue into that. And looks like Dankworth is... my Dankworth Invitational match is going to be shortly after this. So if you guys want to stick around and see what Blood Bowl is about, I'm going to try to get this game scheduled after my stream. I'm going to give them the link to the stream. Maybe get some people hanging out in here. Let's make this a party. All Invitational Round 8. I get all the buttons going, get all the right things looked at. Let's load in, make sure we're loading into the map, Neon Violet Square, game number 3 of Grippe and Rhizer, ZVP. I don't mind this matchup so much. I don't. I know Grippe's a little frustrated right now. It's a little bit stuttery. I'll see what I can do about that right now. I'll just close some more things, because why not? Let's just close you. I don't need Steam going. I don't need that going. Blizzard, no, I need you up. That looks like it'll do, and I'll try to close some more things. Let me let me come over here and make sure Steam is closed and not just, there we go, hanging out as a background noise. There we go. That should do it. So let's take a look at this map real quick. Neon Violet Square, I love it. It's 1 base, 2 base, the typical 3rd base up here, but the 4th base way down here could also be used as a very protected 3rd, a hidden 3rd. Gaining half the minerals is 8 mineral patches instead of 16. And then these little squares here, they change the game. How do you interact with these? Your ranged units are going to have an advantage now because your melee units can't get the surround. Several of these, debris fields here to get in the way. Very lovely map. I do like this. I love all the attack paths up into the natural, these rocks. This is by far my favorite one this season. So that being said, let's talk about our players. Spawning in the top left-hand corner, the purple Protoss. Tying up the game 1-1, it is Rhizer. And when I say that, let's get that score updated. In the bottom right-hand corner, his opponent, Salty Zerg, it is Grippe. Alright, I tease, I jest in good favor. Grippe's a great guy, but he was... he's just making some nice comments there in chat earlier in Twitch chat. We love you, brother. I'm wishing you the best in these games. I have not spoiled this for myself. So if anybody here has already looked at the boards, know that I haven't. This is anybody's game. That's the way it's meant to be played. That's why it's the way it's meant to be observed. All right. I have to like camera hotkeys, right? So I can like come in here and just be like, boink. Boink. Yeah, boink, boink. I can just jump back and forth. We can start looking at these naturals. This makes this one that button, and this one this button. So yoink, 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 yoink. We can yoink it. We can yoink it all across this map. But that being said, we have another Stargate for Rhizer. This seems to be a very standard Protoss opening. We are going to see him throwing in the Overlord very quickly to get the scout. He's not going to have to deal with Stalkers at this time. Kind of very smart play here. An Adept coming out. An Adept coming out of here for Rhizer. Now, this is always interesting. It is a ramp. It does give additional defense to the defender, but this wall is going to come a little bit slower. It's going to be 2 more buildings behind when he's trying to push up into this. That first Adept comes out here, and Warp Research on the way. A couple things going to come up here, and they're going to get poked pretty hard by this Adept. Who's going to follow him up here and take care of that damage. A couple things over here actually getting surround on the Adept that was sitting here at the 3rd, waiting for this drone to get in here. And if he gets the right hits on this drone, this will be the end of him. We're going to watch this Adept. He's got 2 health left, and he's going to fall. And it's going to make this a very comfortable place for this hatchery to go down. Yeah, I'm sure Grippe was overjoyed about being ZVP. Griped. I'm sure Gripped was overjoyed. Hey, Havoc, thanks for hanging out, man. So, looks like he's at work for another 2 hours, so unless you're streaming a while, it could be a wait. It's the first match of 3s, and they're best of 5, so you never know. Yeah, you could be home by the time this is done. And if it's not, I'll stream for a little bit longer, and I'll just stream our game afterwards. It's just a day of streaming for me as these lings come up here. Trying to get into the natural, they're going to find the wall. And it's like 2 lings at a time are going to get hit this Adept as he kills 1 ling every other blast. I would love to see like this many lings being microed back. You know, one gets hit, he gets pulled back. One gets hit, he gets pulled back, making that adept kind of reset his attack. But this is the first oracle. That's the word, oracle. And thank you again there, Tom, for covering down on that chat. Ooh, look at that. Look at those juicy drones. Look at them. They're so juicy. And you don't have to deal with any queens. Looks like he's going to get in here. This oracle is going to get 3 kills, and he's going to make it out here with 79. Nope, 4 kills with 79 health. 4 kills and 4 kills. And a larva. As he meets up with his other buddy oracle. He comes back from battle and he says, I have seen some things. And he's like, what? Juicy drones. Actually, so nothing horrible. Looks like 1 queen, 1 oracle. Well, the queen just out of the way here. Spore Crawler starting to be thrown down for Grippe now. As he throws down the Baneling Nest. Now this Baneling Nest, if we take a quick look around at the direction his opponent's going, I don't have a commitment yet. Okay, we don't have... Yeah, right, I don't have upgrades up. I don't think we have a commitment to one tech or the other. But the great thing about Banelings is they're not ever useless. I mean, is there a unit you think... it's all in. It takes about 10 minutes, he says. I don't know if there is a unit that... I mean, Banelings obviously aren't as efficient against roaches. They're not as efficient against some of those heavier armor units, but you'll find a way. Like, if you do it well, like, just you don't overcommit and make nothing but Banelings, you'll be fine. Don't throw 1,000 Banelings against a row of tanks on high ground while trying to come up a ramp. It's not necessarily useful. All right, I'm gonna stop trying to give advice here. If you just watch this queen, or give my own technical thoughts. I'm still trying to figure out a lot of this game. These rocks are gonna go down. Really gonna open up, and really this is like in a defensive measure. If I have a lot of units and this is the only avenue of approach I have, these rocks are in the way. However, these queens are looking to push back. Oh, it looks like this Warp Prism is going to have a round of Warp Ends here. Looks like he's committing to Templars. This is either for... There we go. More Templars coming in. And they're going to do things. Like morph into Archons. And these Adepts and these Archons, like these Oracles and these Archons, are going to come in here and try to get some damage done. 350 shields on this massive unit. Oracles coming in here, they're going to help this. But these queens, that is a lot of queens. That is a huge number of queens, and Grippe is going to have no problem pushing this back. Returning his queens back to their original positions. Returning a queen back to the original position. Going somewhere back to inject all your larvae. One of those things. There we go. This queen's going back. He knows its role. He's going to actually try to meet... Good setup here. Predicting that this Warp Prism is going to come around the long way. And find a place in the main. But it looks like they're just going to sit out here and do some Overlord control. Some damage control here. Something with a Phoenix. I'm surprised there's not a Phoenix out yet to do this. As we actually see some Phoenixes being morphed in right now to go do some Overlord control. There's a Phoenix there, sweeping the map. And taking a look over here, there was a drop with Archons. All right, queens are going to spot this. They're going to attempt to push away this Warp Prism, but 2 Archons, 1 queen. You're really going to need some backup here shortly. They're going to nail 1 queen. Here by Rhizer, really keeping his opponent on his side of the map. And if there's a tilt button, this is probably it. Like if there's a, hey, how do I tilt Zerg? It's Archon drops. It's showing off with the little bit of micro, all that attention, that fourth production, that fourth resource you're spending over here because you can. And it looks like he went Mutus in response to this. He's going to try to get this Warp Prism. Now he's got it down. Mutus still fall to Archons pretty quick, so he's going to have to chase these down with the rest of his army and hopefully put his Mutus to good work or good use. There is the recall right there. He's going to bring his units back home, seeing those Mutas work across the map. Going to meet some Phoenixes halfway. A little bit of move command there. We could have got a couple free shots. 4 Phoenix, and a handful of Mutas. This isn't a good fight the Mutas want to take. And they're going to be able to pick off a couple here, as long as you don't run into this group of queens that I know is just waiting on the other side of the map. And there they go. And they're going to push these phoenixes away. So many queens. So many. I would love to see this creep just move across the other side of the map and Grippe to just walk his queens over and take the game. It would make my day. But we're going to see a link come over here. They're going to poke, see what's going on. We have a lot of immortals. That is a significant number of immortals. Let's go and do a quick count. 6 immortals, 4 Templar. We're going back into Storm Tech here. +1 is already done for Rhizer. Taking a look back at the Zerg base, kind of getting an account for things. We do have +1/+1 researching for Roaches for range. So it's going to be Roach, kind of a mix of Roach, Hydra, Ling. He's hoping to secure this 5th base up here, opting not to go close to his opponent, but stay vertical along the side of the map. But we do have a handful of Phoenixes here ready to deploy and really clear out Overlords and keep vision going. And they obviously know that this is going to be their newest and freshest base. Muta's over here trying to get some sneaky damage done. Going to be an interesting place to try to poke in, not the 2 Archons that they want to mess with. On the other side, most of the army of Grippe is maneuvering to try to get these Phoenixes, but they are a very fast unit and aren't obstructed by things like debris and walls. Looks like we do have a move out. Grippe deciding that this is on his side of the map way too much. His opponent actually opting for the other base. We're going to see... Phoenix is finding himself in a very dangerous position here. We're going to lose all of them. Almost all of them to the Hydras right there. I see a couple Banelings being morphed in to this fight. And here's the clash. Charge lots coming in. A couple Banelings, no Banelings actually succeeding in morphing. A handful of Archons up front to take so much of that damage. But there are a lot of Hydras, and you really need to keep these storms going. And that's actually a great pre-movement play there from Grippe. Finding time and finding a way to be taking that fight as he moves backwards, trying to prevent Storm. But this is the choke point, so a lot of fight is going to be determined who decides that the choke point is theirs, who decides they want to take it. Kind of a Muta army coming in the back here, hoping to do some sandwiching, hoping to draw the enemy out, maybe get this Warp Prism. But a good pre-split here by Grippe, as this is the point of contention. This is the location that Grippe wants this concave, but Storm's going down all over those Hydralisks, making this a very difficult concave to want to keep. Like, do you leave? Do you give your opponent the high ground just to get outside these storms? And it looks like so much damage being put down. Immortals are almost all that's left here. Working at the top, these Mutas just now coming into the fight, missing their opportunity to get the Warp Prism, missing their opportunity to be throwing their damage down. As Archons are just melting these very, very squishy aerial units. More Roaches coming down. But Roach Archon is definitely a fight that I would want to be in the... Roach Immortal is definitely a fight where I'd want to be on the Immortal side. They're putting out so much damage, especially with these Zealots here to help keep this going. The Warp Prism actually gone home. But even so, so much. They're going to lose this layer. They're going to be set back on all their tech. Going up to Hive, going up to 2-2 is going to be a much more... going up to 3-3 is going to be a much more difficult prospect now as these last couple of Zealots get chased out of the base. Managing to take a third, dropping some cannons down here to help defend that as he works his army back up. So many Archons already... Not Archons, so many Immortals already in production. So many Templar here ready to throw down their storms. As +3 melee is about to go down. Now, what he doesn't have is any of the armor upgrades, so he's been on one track the whole time. So while 3's about to finish, and he does have the most firepower, he is missing the armor. These Dropper Lords, though, filled with Hydras, are going to try to find themselves in a very fantastic position. These Mutas are going to force him to answer this in one of two directions. Now, where does he unload and what does he target? I think this is a very important thing to pay attention to is what's the important thing here? Is it production facilities? Is it probes? Which way is the army going to respond? Is he just going to come right back out of there? It does look like he's going for the fleet beacon because what we really don't want is carriers to suddenly be introduced into the battlefield. But see this decision making right here. He's going to stay here. Looks like he wants to try to fight Immortals. Then he's going to attempt to pack up and go home, but it doesn't look like any units made it into the Overlords. And this is just him getting his supply away as his mutas. Looked to have gotten some damage done. There was a lot thrown down there. We take a quick look at the war count. It's now 71 to 60. He did push away a lot of probes. He did take a little bit of attention, but I don't know if that's game-winning damage here. Rhizer now has the mothership core out. Dark Shrine may or may not be used here for some. Oh, there we go. Looks like the mothership core is gonna be spotted here by the Mutalisk, but they're gonna fly around the space. Not necessarily a lot of damage they can get done if attended to properly. But Rhizer feeling confident enough to not send anything after it. No Phoenixes to clean them up. Okay, there we go. There are a couple Phoenixes coming now. Try to take care of this fight. +3 ground armor is finished, though, as Rhizer makes his way across the middle of the map. Another set of warpins there. More charge zealots. +3 zealots here in the field. Now, +3 charge lots, excuse me, at the forefront of this army. Mothership core making most of these units invisible, and then some real invisible units sent into the max here. I did see, and opting actually to take out this wall to prevent reinforcements from being an issue. These Dark Templar here, finding themselves a good position to take out fifths and expansions. It looks like we are getting another drop, but it looks like it might be spotted and cut off as he's forced to drop these again. And really take this fight with everything he has. It looks like Rhizer really wants to make this a fight. And there's a GG, and Rhizer takes game number 2. Let's go and update that score. It is now 2-1 in favor of Rhizer. And there's a cheers. Thank you, Tom. You are a beast. A gentleman, a scholar, and one handsome dude. Go stretch out. 2-1 in this best of 5 between Rhizer and Grippe. How many games are we going to get? Is Rhizer going to close this out next match? Is Grippe going to come back and 2-0 his opponent? Reverse. I wouldn't say reverse all kill, but reverse kind of kill. The pressure's definitely on. Grippe needs this game to stay in. All right, we're going to game number 4. This one's... Oh. This one is on Backwater LE. Let's go and load this replay up, and we'll get right into game 4. Yeah, 4. Game 4. Game Shi, or Yan. What other languages can I count in? Game 4. Gotta get English out. That's easy, right? That's all my languages. 2 of them that I can count to like 4 with. I count them. Oh, I can't even count the 4 languages. Alright, so let's get right into what this map is. It is Backwater. It looks and feels... I think Backwater, it's like Alabama. This is like Louisiana, right? We take a look. This one presents a very protected third right off the bat, only exposed to air and kind of some drop play over here. It has a forward third or a forward fourth, depending on which direction you want to go with it. But the avenues of approach here are just twofold. To really cover the vision, you're going to need like an overlord here. Grippe's going to need an overlord over here. He's going to have to cover all of these ramps, and if you really, really want to be safe, you had to cover this one over here because attacks can come from multiple directions. Very exposed for so many areas that the enemy can come from. But this right here is a nice choke. For a little bit, this game kind of forces itself into the mid there, and we do see these. Both of them are scouting here. Try to get as much information as possible. But that being said, let's do the introductions after the score is updated. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the top left-hand corner, the Orange Zerg needs this game or he is eliminated. It is Grippe. we have a proxy hatch from said person. Now we're spawning this proxy hatch, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, the purple Protoss. It is Rhizer. Now let's watch this hatch. Let's watch what this does. Let's watch his health. His health is steadily going down. This was the right number of probes to spawn with. Now does he try to place it again? He gets chased away. Now there's a lot of probes not doing anything. Oh, he gets it down a second time. And looks like he's, like, this wasn't just fooling around, right? He's got queens on the way. He has maybe links coming. Let's see if this is something he commits to, but this hatchery is going to have to be canceled again. I mean, it's spotted. Protoss likes to put their stuff on the bottom ramp. So I'm going to have to say this was fooling around. This was keeping him out of a natural. But you can also do that, you know, this way. They can't drop a pylon, obviously, like Protoss can, to be really annoying. So we're going to get proxy hatches. And that costs a lot of minerals. It's costing a lot of micro right now. It's costing a lot of time. If you take a look at Grippe's mineral count, both of their mineral counts, very high there for a minute. Very high for this early in the game. We don't have queen in production. Or the second queen in production yet. Kind of sitting there on that 300 minerals. Let's see what he decides to do with this, as he's still playing with his drone. Finally goes down to the adept. Link's coming across the map to see what they can see. Another queen in production, just now up here in the main. Maybe it was, and I just wasn't looking at it. Word. All right. So down here we have just a couple of depths and zealots are gonna kind of be occupied by these links for a little bit. Throwing down another pylon. We don't see any real commitment to tech yet, so we'll see what this next building is. There we go. There's the Stargate. Very standard so far for Rhizer. He likes to get an Oracle out for some harassment. He likes to get a Phoenix out to clear Overlords. We even have this Overlord way down here in the bottom, either hoping to avoid that kill or come in and get. We'll really just avoid that kill, right? So he wants to come in and get the information at a certain time. A little bit of pre-information here for this Overlord. Let's see how far he likes to go. You go too far, you find yourself in unsafe territory when this Phoenix comes out, and he knows this Phoenix is coming out eventually. He knows he's going to get pushed back. Would you get this Adept here trying to protect or watch over this third, and he's trying to escape now. And he will just make it with 53 health left. We actually now have this great. I love this queen production from Grippe. It is constant. And it is readily available. I mean, it's spending minerals. It's not using larva. It's great for defense. It shoots up. It expands forward. So many great things here. All right, taking a look back, we have this lovely shield battery. It's become more of a staple here for Protoss lately. We're getting shield batteries out the front gates. But so far, the tech is just starport. I'm not seeing any big commitments or shifts yet. Just really macroing up here for the Protoss. This is that first bit of harassment we're talking about. He's going to come over here. He's going to see that there is a third. He's confirming his suspicions. He's going to come out. He's going to meet 3 queens. And the number of kills he's going to get, and I'm going to watch this count. He's going to get 2 kills, and he's going to just get away over here to this third. He gets pushed back, free 2 kills. As he's now joined by his second brethren, and he says to him again, "I have seen things." All right, there we go. He's going to get a full, say very soon, a very full count. There you go, a very full visual of everything his opponent is creating. He's going to see the robotics facility. He sees the teching up. On this side, he's going to see, that Overlord right there. Yeah, he's going to see the third. And he's going to have to start, of course, more production of Overlords because the Phoenix is out, and it is doing Phoenix things, pushing back all the map presence that the Zerg has. These map hacks the Zerg get. All right. Hey, Oracles. The very damaged one, I like it. He's on the outside. If he's doing this on purpose, it's good control. He's going to come in here and see what he can get done. But he's going to find another queen. Queen's going to be focusing on the one that's already damaged. He's going to work down here. He's going to get more. Let's see, we've got 3 and 3. 6 probe kills total between 2 Oracles. I mean, not bad. Not horrible, but something the Zerg is probably okay with when facing this many adepts. I mean, at least I know I'm okay with 6. If I survive with six kills in that level of harass. A fair number of sentries in this army as he pushes out his second robotic facility unit, which is going to be an immortal. A handful of lings here and queens. 2 queens have been tagged. As these oracles this one last oracle continues to try to find something. Alright, good tag there. He's going to see the queen. He's going to see his positioning. If he wants to dive back in, he's going to be able to. 2 hallucinated phoenixes going to come in, do an additional scout. As the phoenix now joins in with his brethren. Alright, I'm going to deny... No information, actually. He's got everything. He knows everything. He knows his roaches. He knows that the upgrades have started. His opponent on the other side has got his upgrades, got some of his upgrades going as well. Looking like he's going for Colossus Tech now. No, excuse me. He's going for Colossus Tech. There's the Colossus. Robotic facility getting that extended thermal lance. Interesting choice here. I like the splash damage of a Colossus. But if his opponent... Oh, I guess his opponent is on Hydras, so... that thermal lance combined with those immortals in the right combination is a very strong army versus what Grippe is throwing at him. Grippe here opting to move out, maybe get some damage done on this third. This very exposed third that this ling is made a point of poking at. But you know what's more powerful than 1 ling? Like 10 lings. What's better than 10 lings? A support of roaches. And right behind that, we got Hydras, and they're actually marching across the map. He's making a lurker den, a couple more links to support this, but now he's going to see the Colossus, and he knows that's not a fight he wants right now without taking the perfect position. And he's going to pull his whole army back. So many upgrades though for the Zerg, so many better times to push. The time he wants to engage this army is probably right when that +1 finishes. +1/+1, plus speed, plus range. Give him a few moments. He's got to rethink his strategy here. As this Oracle comes in, tries to get some more damage done. Looks like he got another drone out of that. Alright, that's actually a pretty good split there. You might need more roaches or Ravengers if these Colossus still keep coming out, but we are going to commit, looks like, to Stalkers as the meat of this army. So Stalker, Colossus, Sentry can do a good job of zoning out and controlling the battlefield. We're talking shields, we're talking blink, we're talking AoE. And with the majority of this army being light, Colossus are going to have a good time of it as long as he doesn't find himself in a bad position. The army value is very close, supply value is very close. These are very evenly matched opponents. Both of them on 4 bases now, securing almost full saturation for the Zerg and just really getting up and running for the Protoss. As this Oracle is just taxing so much of the Zerg's attention right now, keeping him pushed back, allowing the perfect moment for Rhizer to find his position. Taking a quick look around, lurkers are being burrowed in all the right places, depending on the attacks, depending on what gets tagged. How the position goes. I mean, this is all about positioning. You have to respect the lurkers here. You can't walk into this. Actually, he can't walk into that. Like, this is not his to walk into. We'll see Thermal Lance how that does at a distance. Whether he feels the need to blink into this. But there's so many. Yeah, so there's a free Stalker kill right there. There's the tag, but does he follow up this tag with some aggression? Where does he go with this army? This absolute wall of Stalker, Colossus, Sentry. He's really got to find a good opener. And when he finds it, I'm taking note because this is where I start to fall apart. This army now moving in position to the Stalkers, blinking forward to get into a good position. Gets that burrow, and he's going to hold right there. Actually separating some of his army out of protection of these lurkers. Several Banes being morphed in, and there's a volley from the lurkers. This is very much like, hey, we're a bunch of tanks We're trying to find the best position to take this army, and this is where Protoss should decide. Not here. Oh, here we go. Just outside of range. Slowly pushing them back. This finite control here that only Terran usually take the time to master with tanks and Liberators, being thrusted slowly forward, actually pushing them farther and farther back into a corner, and looking like he's going to bypass them altogether. Oh, ooh, missing. Absolutely being missed in that tag there. Dropping the lurkers back into the ground. Coming back, Colossus actually putting out significant damage for Colossus. There's the shields to decide, not this fight. Not right now, ladies and gentlemen. As the support back home, continually warping in more Templars. Now, this is what we talked about earlier, Storms. Storms OP, right? So, ooh, actually, no vision over here for these. Oh, wait, there is vision. I see the observer. Actually throwing away a lot of lurkers here. Trying to force the fight, trying to force the issue, and it looks like that might work. That might have been the fight he needed. As these lurkers sneak in to get actually great connections here. Storms now have joined them, right? So now we have Templar to deal with. The storms are going down on all the right places there. The Immortals coming into the fight now with nothing but roaches left. Vision is there. These units aren't very strong when they've been seen, but they are still dishing out massive amounts of damage. Hydralisk coming to join the fight, trying to pick off. There we go. Gets off one observer and kind of resets this whole engagement. As you see, both their army counts are about are similar enough, if you will. Rhizer a little bit behind. Maybe an A move right here could end the game in Grippe's favor, but he opts to move back home. Taking a quick account of everything they have. Lots of gates. Looks like we do have fleet beacons, and carriers are going to enter the battlefield soon, 3 at a time. Completely change up this game. Turns out carriers don't touch the ground, and that is a lot of lurkers to commit to an army that doesn't touch the ground. Coming over here, spine crawlers to protect this 1, 2, 3, 4, 6th base, fifth base, protect the 5th base, and 6 base going down here for the Zerg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases for the Protoss, but 3 sets of carriers. That's what he's waiting for. Those are he's going to chrono boost up all the carriers he can. Looks like an Oracle behind that to help keeping with the tags. All right, we do have a move out as Grippe. Something to find a good position here. He does have the army advantage. As long as he gets a good surround. But this is definitely a fight that I would wait for carriers. Like, you have the counter unit sitting right here. Give them a moment, right? Let them take down the shield battery. Trying to fight now from two angles. Storms are going down. They're being forced to walk through the storms. And even with the lurkers, these Hydralisks melting away without the lurkers now. Pull the army back. They get to take the fights they want to take now. Banelings coming in, trying to get some damage. There's a lot of Banelings for an Immortal, so maybe I was wrong. There are units that you don't need to throw Banelings against. But so little army left here. It's a little ground army here. It's all these carriers now, and while they have the manpower to do it, the follow-up is going to be tough. But these carriers have absolutely changed the game. It looks like we're getting interceptor upgrades now, as these lurkers are attempting to move in on the 5th base, getting pushed back by cannons, getting pushed back by carriers, and now the game is going to shift. We have two spires being put down. It's going to allow for double spire upgrades. One of them is going to probably go to a greater spire while he continues to push out corruptors to now deal with this new threat that has emerged on the battlefield, a hidden new threat. And while he gets the 4th, this game is definitely shifting back and forth. You see the supplies are exactly the same. Very brawler heavy. Now the advantage here is Grippe has so many more workers. He's going to be able to sustain more inefficient fights, which is helpful because this is a scary army. This is 3 carriers. This is 4 Archons, Charge Lot Zealots. Kind of a very, I wouldn't even call it a tech-heavy army. This is very much a move them forward army. Don't let the carriers die army. But maybe a bit of early engagement here. We'll see, as these carriers are doing massive amounts of damage. 7, 6, and 11 kills each. The Immortals moving forward, popping out so much These Archons obliterating that base, and then moving on to the next one. We're gonna move from right side of the screen to left side of the screen. The response from Grippe here has to be the correct answer. His response here determines the game. As these carriers melt down yet another base, and more Archons are being transformed. Eggs being canceled as they just move on to the next base. The army supply now 104 to 52, 164 to 109 here, as corruptors have entered the battlefield. But these Archons deal with corruptors. These storms deal with workers. The third base melts as this carrier is about to fall down. 26, 8 health, one carrier down, another warp in of Zealots here, as it looks like he's going to clean up all the corruptors. And there's the LOL from Grippe, as this Protoss army just maneuvers through. He says, yeah, I'm done with this game for a bit. All ends Rhizer takes the first game. Whew, I tell you, talking for an hour and a half straight, that's a workout. Like, jaw. It's just the jaw. So let me update the standings here. Looks like Rhizer. Hey, GG, ShazamPoof. You are a boss. You let me know if you ever need anything from me, brother. So we have 2 more matches to go. First one is... quit that. First one's gotquail versus Boo, followed by ShazamPoof versus eXiled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick break. And I'll be back. I'm going to even pause this YouTube video so you don't have to skip forward for 3 minutes or so. I'm going to use the latrine, refresh my drink, and then we'll finish the round of 8 of the All Invitational. And we're back, and we are... Let's see, there was a game 5 here, and, you know, always these decoy games for me. All Ends, Rhizer, and Gucci Theory. So maybe a game I'll check out later. Sometimes y'all put some really good games in to, you know... You kind of want me to show them, some of you. So maybe give them some time. We have... Oh, no. Game number 1. Of gotquail versus Boo, Neon Violet Square. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. And that's going to be another one of these load old replays. So just give me a little bit of patience as we have to reload between matches. Thank you again to Tech4, Brew Radley, Goner, GG, Adam the Spartan, and Honey Badger for the host/auto host. They mean a lot. It really does. It's really cool to see that over there. Though I have some good friends who support me while we do this, while we have fun and we play an absolute fantastic game known as Starcraft. So, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the top left-hand corner, the Red Zerg, the community man, the streamer, the all-inspiration personality of the evening, Boo. His opponent in the bottom right-hand corner, equally attractive and a very handsome individual. Got milk wasn't good enough. He wanted quail. It's gotquail. Alright, so this is a ZVZ. These first couple of opening moves are the coin flip. They mean a lot, and we do have a fast pool over here for Boo. But he is... and he's not droning up. Excuse me. I was saying and but no, there is no droning up happening right now. It looks like we're going to see a very aggressive early play here from Boo Radley. His opponent, not even a pull down yet, so it's very imperative. Any mistakes here, any early fumbles cost a lot. And there we go. Really good timing there on that pull. He's going to have to be paying attention to the mini-map. He's going to have some good overlord placement. If they don't catch the move out of these lings... he's going to be in a very dangerous position. You see 8 lings now being morphed in, and they're just going straight. Oh, it looks like they're going to try to cut in, and we should see them absolutely missed by the Overlord. So this information is going to come late. This is there's going to be no immediate response here from gotquail. No spines, no forcing out more than 4 lings. We even have more than 4. Not forcing out more than 4 lings. Looks like he may have caught those couple of lings, and he's going to see. Even going the other direction, Boo is actually trying to outmaneuver and mind game his opponent. It's going to be a while before he sees lings, right? So we take a look here. This button. Here we go. He's just now seeing there's nothing. Now his response to this is what? This is very important. He sees that there's possibly an all-in. His immediate response is to throw down. He has a Baneling nest already on the way. The lings are just gathering, right? So we have banelings over here. We have units still being pulled across the map, trying not to give away this giant clump of lings that is, let's not give the severity of this attack away. These banelings here making a beeline for whatever they can get. Absolute disgusting micro as he circles banelings around in loop-de-loops. Holds him down at the bottom of the ramp. Great connections there with the first baneling. A handful of lings up at the front as these banelings kind of cycle around just outside the back range. These queens holding position very well here as gotquail gets his own banelings. These lings forcing the issue at the front of the map. Looks like the queen is going to... he's going to survive as a new wave of lings making their way across the map. More banelings being produced here at the bottom of the ramp. Lings now still taking this route. Taking kind of a roundabout way to get here. Now, every second that this goes on is definitely in the favor of gotquail. He really wants to hold this. He wants to do as much as he can. Oh, great connection there, forcing a couple of baneling explosions. More lings crossing inside the map. A lot of indecision, it feels like, from Boo here. I really love the mind games in the early, but we have lings sitting on this side of the map. We have lings flooding across one at a time. One baneling coming up. One of two things is going on. He's either waiting to really disclose the full strength of this attack. Those banelings make great connections there, absolutely clearing out all that defense with 1 queen and 2 banelings. Looks like gotquail now on the offensive, pushing back across the other side of the map. Boo's time is running out. How does he push back? This is an absolutely fantastic force that's streaming across. The baneling hits have to be God. As he comes up to the ramp, meeting head-on with the attack, trying to spread out a couple lings. Not bad hits for the banelings there, but it is going to push back the attack. All right, 1 baneling here on move command. He's going to get a couple lings in that explosion, and we're just going to have this dance right in the middle of this, right on top of this little CTL icon. Hey, CTL. If you don't know it, figure it out. Go hang out with CTL. But it looks like this is kind of a sway back and forth. gotquail has 4 more workers. He's going to be able to produce on twice as much larva. It really puts the pressure on Boo to end this game very quickly and very decisively. As he sees, gotquail's got to be feeling good right now. There's nothing on the other side of the map. He sees there's no hidden third. He gets this information, and he's still a dangerous threat in the back of this base. It has to be handled by Boo. Boo runs away, adding some lings back into this fight, and another wave actually coming right down the middle. With some kind of this dancing is going on. We got lings coming across this way. We got lings coming down this way. We got like overlords and these lings that have absolutely been forgotten about. That's a shame. Down there, every once in a while, you might need the all army key just to check your stuff. Now, if they ended up being decisive lings later in the game, and they were hidden for reasons, that'll be good to know. But this is where the melee gets funky, right? These squares are in the way. These lings have a hard time getting any kind of surrounds, and that baneling can do so much. So many banelings being morphed right now. Just the gas production for gotquail and the mineral production for gotquail is so much higher than his opponent. He has the opportunity to make so many more banelings. These lings flooding very safely up here. Boo actually trying to take a natural rather than tap out now. Finding himself suicide the natural, and GG! That first game going to gotquail. All right, so 1-0. to gotquail, game number 1, and we're going to do the restart real quick. Get this game going. Game number 2 between gotquail and Boo. That was a very good game. Had a lot of twists and turns in it. I expected. Actually, didn't know what I expected. I didn't know who was going to pull out. It's always that. Excuse me. I don't know if it's a coin toss with Zerg, but it's that like fine micro control and attention. It's pulling on all the senses, and we got to see that kind of at a mid level play between 2 players. So our next map is going to be on Acid Plant. Hey, Salts on SC2, thanks for the follow. Glad to have you here joining with us. And 5 cheers there from ShazamPoof. He's also cooking dinner. Thank you for that, brother. I went to check on dinner and I realized I had leftover pizza. I'll tell you a funny story. I was talking for 3.5 hours before this, and an hour and 40 minutes into this, I've been talking a lot, and my jaw about right there, it's kind of it's tough. It hurts. It's a muscle. I don't talk that much, right? I don't know if that's a thing. So interestingly enough, I go to get dinner and it's leftover pizza. That's great. I love leftover pizza. I had pizza yesterday. I ordered enough so there would be leftovers. It's fantastic. I'm in a great mood. There's pizza. And then I'm sitting down here finishing up that last break right before I came back on, and I'm down to the crust. And I'm like, oh, man, this is going to suck. Like, it hurts to chew cold crust. And I did anyway because it's delicious. But, that's all I needed now was a little bit of extra work out of that jaw with pizza crust. But enough of that. Let's introduce our players. Spawning up here in the top left-hand corner in the blue, taking the first game off of Boo, it is gotquail. His opponent, opening with the cheese and being unable to finish off his opponent last round, is hoping to bring it back this time. In the red, it is Boo. So, what are you cooking for dinner, guys? What's on the menu? Is it noodles? I'm going to guess noodles. Alright, Overlord's moving through the night. We do see this first one. The first Overlord of Boo is coming over here to make sure there's a natural. Opposingly, the first Overlord of gotquail is going to do the same. It's the second Overlord that's passing. Looks like positioning for the scout in the future. But the second one for gotquail is positioning the check for the third. So slightly different strategies here for both of their players, for both players. Depending on queen timing, this queen timing and placement, these first overlords can just be sacrificed, slaughtered, if you will. So I'm going to turn down this music here. This is really nice, loud Starcraft music, I think, overtaking it. So another overlord coming out. Staying on to the 1717, there goes speed. We should see, yep, 2 queens in production for both players, just about the same time. Mirror builds, both getting speed, both droning up now after the first couple. Lings, a little bit of difference here. We have 6 lings coming out for Boo. The 6 versus 4 is, it's a question I don't have answered yet. Is it 4 or is it 6? It's 4 or 6. 6 beats 4. So if you're coming across the map now to get something done, that's good. Now we are seeing he saw 6 slings, right? So actually 6 slings is going to be followed by 4 more. It looks like we're going to get some sustained aggression here from Boo. Now gotquail is getting 2 more lings behind this to meet the 6, but both of them have expanded. So we'll kind of see how this plays out. But this is it's not a fight necessarily he wants to take. He's going to get 1. Some good micro there as he gets 1 link. 2 more to join this party of 6 should even this fight out, as if he fights near the queen, there we go, actually queen opting to get this overlord, see if that gets away there, and this kind of this ling dance in the middle, as Boo is going to be joined by a handful more lings. He's got 6 more on the way. Speed's going to finish for gotquail first, but everything's kind of split up now. This queen is actually probably going to be the difference here. Going to force back Boo and make all these extra lings that he's made. Kind of a really bad deal. behind this, linging up behind this. He's going to cancel those. He's going to continue to fight. And gotquail is going to kind of do this dance. More lings, though, coming to the fight. Let's go and take a look at the unit tab. We'll just keep a look there for a while. Boo at 20 lings, 25 for gotquail. But where are they at in the fight? Where are they going to be coming from? Which directions are we dealing with? Those are the real questions. Gotquail actually all the way over to his opponent's third that just finished here. Both of them now have the same amount of larvae to pull from, but it's this... This is just this dance of lings flooding in different directions. Who can control it? Who's getting the baneling? Who's going to get this baneling hit? His first major baneling hit is going to mean a lot, and Boo doesn't even have the capability to produce banelings now. From the look of it, it looks like he started producing banelings as soon as he noticed his opponent could produce banelings. Oh, look at the trap! Brings over the one baneling at just the right moment to try to suicide. One baneling going down. Really good control there by Boo. Gotquail just needs one good explosion to turn the tide here. And he's chasing away lings. Not only chasing away, he's opening opportunities up for his other lings to get these hits in. Closing in on banelings as they morphed in. Pulling back. He's still got two banelings over here in the third. This fight is going back and forth. So much action here as these lings trying to find great positions for their banelings to connect. But actually, these lings looks like they're going to get the queen. They're going to continue to power down and pump out the third. Roachwarren going down and 20 more lings on the way for gotquail. He's taking a baneling lead, if you will. He's one baneling explosion ahead of his opponent. One solid baneling hit. As you look at the army count, it's 18 to 22. But his defender's advantage on the other side of the map looks like Boo actually got the third of his opponent. Got the third of his opponent and saved his at the last second. So some really good micromanagement there as the fight continues to kind of morph around in the middle. Worker count, 27 for gotquail might be, as long as you don't get any baneling hits that shift the tide, kind of like, okay, not this one. Fantastic baneling hit there, taking on half of the lings on the other side of the map, evening out the army supply. Looks like kind of watching this back and forth as lings maneuver. This is so beautiful. Lings dancing across the map. I'm watching the minimap trying to find the right angles here, and there just aren't perfect angles. So this is gotquail now trying to force the fight on his opponent's side of the map, clearing out lings, forcing his opponent back, but there's still a small contingent of lings coming over here for Boo as he pumps down this queen. Looks like he's going to pump down a couple workers, and somebody who's already behind in workers could be a lot of damage, but we are going to see the same thing over here as roaches are now on the battlefield, and there are no roaches. For Boo. This absolutely morphs the fight, forces a response. You see the Roachborn going down for Boo now. He's got to stop his production of lings for a moment, and he's got to get roaches up to handle this fight. And he can't be losing lings like this, because every ling he loses as these units march across the map are lings that aren't there to support him when he's already going to be behind on roach count. And this could even itself out with defender's advantage, but we do have a nice little wraparound here. Looks like we actually have lings in production ready for the counterattack by Quail. He's going to put a couple banelings morphed back there, and he's looking like he's going to handle this one deftly as the roaches finish marching across the map, and Boo taps out. GG! gotquail takes 2 games out of 5 and only needs 1 more to close this out. Go ahead and switch on over. Turn the music back on. Turn it back up. Yeah. gotquail's 2-0. He needs 1 more game. He can close this out and move on to the semifinals where he can threaten for the winner slot. GG, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic game so far. Thank you for joining me. We're going to hit this play button again and get right back into Starcraft. Having a blast on a Sunday. That's how I like to end my weekend. All right. Let's see. Replays. Game number 3 is going to take place on Biogenesis, one of the most vetoed maps in all of Starcraft this season. Some very short rush distances, a lot of avenues of approach for the attacking player. A lot of places to hide attacks from. Third base is kind of out in the open. And we've already seen some very cheeky play. None of these games between Boo and gotquail have been standard. None of them have been slow. We have gotten to the action so quickly, and I kind of expect that to continue. So, GG, dinner is done. What's food tonight, Tom? What is on the menu? Let's take a quick look at this map before we do introductions. It's natural here, fairly close, but it has got a wide open, very big opening to the outside, if you will, with 3 ramps coming in, and the third ramp going down to a very exposed third. Kind of an out-of-the-way fourth. Two out-of-the-way fourth, very hard to defend. So a lot of the games here go very early because of the rush distance here between the ramps to the natural. And you get up that ramp, there's so much space to play and so much space to maneuver. It's very difficult to tell. That being said, I'm seeing a 14 pool over here for gotquail. So we'll start at the top left-hand corner with the aforementioned gotquail. It's gotquail. In the bottom right-hand corner, his opponent hoping to reverse all kill and stay in the all invitational. It's everybody's favorite streamer, Boo. Or Boo Radley. Or Boo, if we're focusing on the capitalized O. That being said, it is 2-0. Now that I got the score straight, we have Overlords passing in the night. We have a spawning pool up, and we have 8 lings on the way. And the spawning pool just now about to finish. Luckily for Boo, he went spawning pool. Did commit to macro, but went spawning pool first. Now, he's doing the Boo move. I like this. Very early on, he's dodging the Overlords. The Overlord's going to take so much longer to see that there's not a base there. He's going to see these 2 lings, which they're fast lings. And his response is going to be what? As we kind of watch, we see those first 4 lings are really normal. We have 6 lings here for his opponent. Neither one of them committed to speed yet. This is so far going to be a slow ling battle. And adding speed to the mix gives you an advantage once it's up, but up until that point, you are definitely at a disadvantage. Actually, drone's being pulled here by Boo. He's trying to answer this attack on his base, but he's going to get so many lings, and it looks like if he gets so many drones, if he's going to get these drones, he's also 3 drones, and he's probably still going to get this hatchery, and there's the GG, and that is the quickest game of the night. Absolutely 3 games, best of 5. gotquail's taken all of them. Congratulations to gotquail for moving on to the semifinals in such a grand and fast fashion. That was a very quick tap out. Oh, not that one. That one. gotquail, Rhizer, and Nitro so far sitting in the finals. And there's a GG from ShazamPoof. You are the man. I need you got to get your subscribe button so I can throw some cheers back. This is great. All right. So I guess we're gonna get into this next game really quickly. Tom says pasta and meatballs and a bell pepper. Always focus on the O. Get it like bits but bytes. Because 1s and 0s, I have to imagine. Yeah. Am I on it? Is it over my head? Geez. Oh, that was brutal. That rush on a short rush distance map, even when he had a relatively fast pool, he still went the economic pool. And just gave up so much, so many drones for that hatchery. There's no way coming back from his perspective, and he tapped out quite quickly. So ZVZ, kind of a tough matchup to play sometimes, and that's what we saw. Our last set, eXiled versus ShazamPoof. Now, one of these players has been dropping 5 bits at the end of every game, so I will have to admit a bias right now for ShazamPoof, but we'll see. Cross my fingers if we're gonna get a Tom victory here. But that being said, let's get into game 1. It's gonna be on. Oh, I didn't look at the map. It's gonna be on Eastwatch. Yeah, not a map we see all the time. Not a map we see very often. push this button. Push this button. We're going to have a button soon. Oh, that hand. Boom. Eastwatch. ShazamPoof versus eXiled. Both fantastic members of All In. We've got Zerg and a Protoss border on their icons. And we have Zerg and a Protoss race. Very, very, I don't know how many people actually use different borders. Is that something people like to do? Or do we all represent our race? Is this like nationalist? Are we proud? Proud people? Proud people of our nations? Oh my gosh. 300 cheers from ShazamPoof. Art, did you whip out your credit card again? Thank you so much, dude. That is fantastic. We're having a blast here today. And with that being said, we're going to go right to the introductions, because spawning in the bottom left-hand corner in the light blue, the Protoss, it is eXiled. His opponent top right-hand corner, the man, the myth, the runner of this tournament, ShazamPoof. He just threw another 300 bits down there, and I get to see how ZVP is run twice today. I'm going to take so many extensive notes while this music just keeps this thing going. Oh, it ended right as I was trying to like jump in and join it. It's a little sad. All right, so we do have the spawning pool up here in the back. Looks like he's preventing, kind of limiting movement. Maybe adept movements, run-bys, things like that. I'd like that. I'm torn between this position here and kind of a position here, give my queen protection from surrounds. But I guess that's more of a ZVZ thing. A probe going back. He's got his information on this side of the field. We're seeing very, very standard from both players. Cybernetic score from eXiled. And just kind of a nice, slow gentleman's handshake that this isn't going to get too crazy too fast. We'll at least get into the mid game. Hey Tom, did you get that note from yourself last night? You read a note. I'm just curious if you got that note. I think it's got like an elephant or a cat on it, and it says, "I'm sorry." All right, down here we are getting a forge, a very fast forge. We are getting 6 lings, actually a handful of lings, maybe even a ling flood if the ling production is maintained. But it is supported by some additional droning, so maybe too early to call. A strategy here is Shazam sends some lings across the map. He's going to check. He's going to catch this adept right after a shade. That is, oh, excuse me, perfect timing. He's going to push it back. He's going to prevent scouting. He's going to maybe get it. Nope, he's not going to get it. The shade is going to make its way back. And it looks like he's going to finish getting this wall off. No more lings being pushed out for Shazam. He's going back to droning. Shield battery, some sentries, and it looks like charge lot is the direction that eXiled wants to go, at least with this opener. Lings going back home. Good number of queens in production. Getting that creep spread going towards the enemy base. Yep, one shield battery and a zealot on top of a sentry is a very good way, to start that wall. 2 sentries. That is pretty secure now from most early attacks, except for the most aggressive of all ends, Banelings or Ravagers coming in to break that. War Grape is about to finish. We take a quick look around at his tech now. eXiled is starting his +1 really quickly. Zealot legs. Look like he is going to commit to some kind of fast timing. All these structures actually hidden from his opponent. If I take a quick look, he has not sent in his vision yet. The Zerg does not know what's coming. And this actually could end in a very, there we go, a very strong push here from the Protoss. Speed Zealots in mass are a very dangerous thing to deal with. I would know. I dealt with them like 6 or 7 times today. Always the Zealots, always the Zealots. There we go, warping in some more Zealots here. Just a light number at the front. I don't know if this is an amount that would worry me or not. As a Zerg, if I kind of poked in here, it's this Overlord that really wants to be seeing what's going on. That's a lot of gates. Templar Archives going down now too. There we go. Small little push here, going to clear the front gate. Behind this, the response. Roachborn finishing, Hydralisk in going down. Several creep trimmers, actually great creep spread here. He's going to be able to get back and forth to the left and the right, at least from each of his bases. You see he's even got the gold now for a third. But the army behind this is got to get here quickly, as speed is finished and +1 is just about to finish. Several roaches in production, +1/+1. Actually had spent larva on drones, it looks like. There's only two roaches coming to help this out. Going to find himself in a very precarious position as this attack just melting, and there's the GG, and eXiled takes game number 1. Nope. Let's go quick replay. GG. Just that really good timing, really hid that technology and that push. Nice far back in the base. Just a lack of information, from the opponent there. So. Oh, yep, let's quit that. Load Starcraft back up. We can get into game number 2. The last match of the all-invitational round of 8. Assuming we get both round of 4s played. I do expect, we'll call it Tuesday for now. Tuesday we'll do the round of 4. And we'll see, hey, what do you think, Tom? You think we can get the finals live? I think we can arrange that. Alright, game number 2 is Acid Plant LE. Alright. Button, ladies and gentlemen. Of this it's best of 5. I keep typing best of 3. Oh, man, imagine me. Best of 5. First map, gone to eXiled. Now, the most handsome of players. The cleverest and charming of players. It is ShazamPoof. His opponent, the villainous, the dastardly, the all-around not as good-looking as Tom, all in this eXiled. Alright, see if they can rise out of anybody. So, I like this probe scouting after the gateway, and then immediately following that up, figuring out what his response is based on the intel. He's going to go in, he's going to take a look, make sure there's a natural, poke around, make sure there's nothing crazy. He is going to see a fairly standard opening here from the Zerg. 17, 17, 17. A little late, I would say, on the gas. Getting that pool up right behind it. He's going to see natural, and back home, his response is going to be to go ahead and expand. And I like that timing. I like the smoothness in which Protoss gets something over here. He sees what's going on. eXiled notices it's safe to expand, so he expands. The alternate response might have been to wall off first and then expand, or not expand at all. Maybe mass out units. It's a very, I wouldn't call it safe approach. I guess that's supposed to be the European thing, right? Very safe defensive builds. But it's also just smart play, right? Reacting to your opponent. Be the Zerg. Cybernetics Core. Just about to finish up here, and we'll see what his first units are. Looks like he's going to opt in with the Adept. Just a great unit to open up with. His opponent's going to have Zerg. Zerglings coming across, and that they are just good against Zerglings. Not to mention the scout path he's going to take over here with the shade. They're very quick. They're very good to get in and get out. Get that second look at the opponent. So much information. I like how eXiled is really getting information. But we do have, what's that, 8 Zerglings moving across the map now. This is a number we saw ShazamPoof pull last time. He's going to come in here. He's going to catch this Adept who hadn't shaded yet, so he didn't catch him in the shade. A little bit of micro. Oh, he's going to get the surround. Looks like he's going to get the shade. He's going to get him before the shade, rather. And this Adept is going to have to go home and park his butt in between the walls. It just finishes up. It pops out a Stalker. Taking a quick look around. We do see the Twilight Council is up. He's going to go for some nice tech. No Forge this time. We're not seeing that same charge lot rush. I do like the shield battery, of course. And there we go. A couple more gateways. An extra gateway coming down the back. Impaired with the Twilight Council. Now, this first upgrade determines kind of that first push, if he's trying to clear this out with a nice timing, or just the first couple units he wants in the defense. Interesting note here. I do believe we don't have a... There it is. Here you go. There's the layer. There is no expansion yet for Shazam. He's looking to get something done with this layer. Warp Gate about to finish for his opponent. So we'll see who actually begins to start this pressure first, because no third base here for the Zerg. And actually a lot of teching up for his opponent. Looks like charge lot is the answer. So between between fast teching up for his opponent, and it looks like some aggression play coming from Shazam. This next building there is the Spire. So it looks like we're going to see some very early Muta Harass coming in. And they're going to have a very easy time of getting in here and seeing what he wants. Now this Overlord, maybe not so lucky, as he's probably going to fall before he has a chance to see any of... Oh, and he sees nothing. So let's go back to the main camera. We'll take a look around. We do have robotic skills. We have a Dark Shrine. So much tech being thrown down. Zealot legs with a Dark Shrine. I imagine we'll see a Warp Prism come out of here really fast. And there we go. So we're going to see some DTs being thrown down. Maybe just morph into some Archon play. It's also a really fast way to get Archons is through DTs. A couple more gateways being thrown down. Just this nice strong tech up play here from eXiled. But things are about to culminate. We do have Banelings being brought in. Baneling that's about to finish. There goes the Spire. First couple units he morphs in. I would say to tell the story, but it's got to be the Mutas. We're not dealing with anything Corruptors or messing with here. 8. He's able to pull out 8 Mutas as he stocked up a little bit on the minerals on the way here. Morphs in an Overseer Cocoon with it. We'll take a look at where he wants to send those. There we go. Let's follow this a nice line. Oh, it looks like we're going to go right into the main. We're going to get scouting. We're going to get damage done. And his opponent has been taking up so heavily, this might do massive damage. But if it doesn't and it gets driven off, this is slowly going to spiral in favor of eXiled, who's been on the same number of bases. Now this Warp Prism Core, let's see if this is on the path, because it's kind of on this path to get spotted. And if he spots this, he's got the Mutas to deal with it. There it is. Oh, no. Autopathing. Maybe he didn't see it. Maybe he doesn't care. But looks like both of them passed in the night. He's going to warp in several DTs. And he's warping in DTs like he's got... Oh, he's not warping in anything. He's responding to Mutas, to amassing of Banelings. Looks like he's just going to bust the front. And this is set up for warping in, but there's nothing in the third to blow up. There's actually no detection either, though. As the Lings start to go down, there goes the Archons. They're going to push this back. Dark Shrine, like I said, Dark Shrine's good for Archons. Archons like Mutas. However, the front of the base has been completely depowered. So you can't even morph in DTs over there in the middle of the map where you had them for your counter harass. All the structures are gone, or all the structures are depowered. They're not gone. They're right there. 14, 15 drones being taken out. And the Muta's coming in for the harass as the Archons are being pulled in 2 different directions trying to deal with this. They have this mobility of left, right, this 1-2 punch here as the Muta's come in. Absolutely seeing 2 Stargates. The Ling's still poking over here on the right. Looks like the Archon's 20 drones down. 22, 23 drones as more Lings continue to float across the map. And it looks like even morphing in, this Warp Prism over there, still not getting anything done. Phoenix is coming in to try to deal with this, but Banelings, oh my gosh, the Banelings. Are we discussing connections there as Banelings take so much, all the Archons are down. The Mutas can take out the Phoenixes as long as the micro is not perfect. But there's no. I think he's shuttling probes. He's trying to shuttle probes away to keep them alive. As this Warp Prism is 60, 50, 36 health left, 18. He's dropping probes now to keep them alive. There are just so many Lings in the base. Phoenixes are great for Mutas, but there's still a lot of Mutas, and there are still a lot of Lings being pulled across the map here as Tom continues to push it in. And there's a GG exclamation mark. eXiled hands one game over to ShazamPoof. Wow, that was good. That was just the perfect storm there, and not even taking a moment to try to deny his opponent of that Warp Prism in the middle of the map. He was just so on top of it. Very good games, very good. And like I said, I like that exclamation mark. It shows a lot of sportsmanship on behalf of eXiled there. You take that loss. Take that loss in stride. So we're gonna get into game number 3. I hit the play button, right? I hit it again anyway. For those who are watching, it is the 20th anniversary of Starcraft. What does that mean? It means that if you haven't watched any Starcraft streams yet, I'd be surprised because you're all fantastic lovers of Starcraft. But by watching this, you're unlocking things in Starcraft. There's a Bob Ross portrait that you get just for watching my stream. Well, and others, but mine too. So, thanks. All right, so, ooh, that's loud. That's nice 1v1 scream. So we are going on to game number 3, which is going to take place on Backwater. This is Louisiana of maps, and we're going to load this in just like we have all the others by disconnecting from Battle.net. Let's hit that music a bit. Let's hit that music. Wait, turn it up a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 3. Spawning in the top left-hand corner, in the green, the Zerg, the handsomest man in StarCraft, ShazamPoof. His opponent in the bottom right-hand corner, falling to Mutas and Banelings last game, hoping to come back and take another game off his opponent. It is All Ins, also handsome, eXiled. All right, 1-1 in a best of 5, ladies and gentlemen. I've been marking best of 3s all day. Let's see if we can get it right this time. All right, turn that music down just a little bit. Zoom it on out. We're gonna zoom it on in. Hello, drone. What are you doing? Bob Toss. I like that. I like the. I really like that they're doing drops. That they're reaching out and not, I wouldn't say assisting their Twitch, but making Twitch part of the community experience. Right. Very good of them. I think I know the way I just threw there was one who did get their Bob Toss from me. So I'm glad to have participated in this event. Feels really cool. This probe is getting all the information he wanted. He's going to see the natural, and behind this, he's going to safely expand. That same timing we saw from eXiled last time, very smooth, very well thought out Protoss timing here. He's going to sit here. We should see that Cybernetics core go down. Yep, there it is. And we're going to get into that mid-game we've seen between these two. Now it's that transition. What do we see next? Do we see just last game, ShazamPoof avoided the third. He went right to the lair. He went to Mutas, and he kind of this Ling Bang Muta from two sides, pulling his opponent so many different directions that he couldn't keep up. This time, is he going to try the same thing again? Is his opponent going to be a little more ready for it? His opponent was just caught in a weird place, trying to tech up in so many directions. And by the time his opponent got there and destroyed and depowered all of that tech, it put him in a very weird position, having to tech up both two Archons, Phoenixes, Warp Prisms, all in one game, pulling him in multiple directions. Whether it was a finely tuned instrument or just a bashing of clubs with mutas and banelings, it's hard to say, but it was definitely an exciting game, and I'm very curious to see how this responded to. And it looks like the response is going to be Adepts. Adepts moving across the map, queued up 2 at a time, moving towards his opponent's base. If we actually have an expansion to a third and not any kind of pre-planned aggression from ShazamPoof, this could be a very difficult thing to deal with, because this first one just looks like a scout. It just looks like, and there it is, this right here is going to be, oh, there he goes, he gets the third, and this Adept gets out of there just barely into his shields, while right behind it, oh, okay, I misspoke. That was positioned all the way across the map, but he's pulled him back. So it looks like we're going to just start macroing up here and start teching up. See, this is that tech path. We're going to double Stargate. Ooh, double Stargate going down for his opponent. Not just one, not just a Phoenix, maybe double Oracle, maybe some Void Rays, some nice early Void Rays coming around the bottom, moving up from the third. Maybe he's just trying to aggressively go aggressive Phoenix. We're going to know in just a bit. On the other side of the map, it looks like ShazamPoof is continuing to stay on minerals, right? He's just got 3 on gas. He's not got any additional tech structures right now. He's really macroing up hard. On his production, you see his third's about to finish. There's the first look at gas. And there's the third base just about to finish up here. 3 gas total. He goes to 4 gas. His opponent, there's a shield battery at the front base, and it looks like Oracle Phoenix. So that's going to be a very good clear out Overlords and provide harass. Now, I like 2. So his opponent sees the Phoenix and says, okay, I have to start preparing for an Oracle now. But the problem with that is the Oracle's already out. And it's going to take... There we go. He's going to clear it out. We should see Spore Crawler starting soon, but he's not going to rush. Oh, there we go. There we got Spore Crawler starting. There's a Stargate. But it looks like the Oracle's actually going to stay at home. There's an Adept there, spotting for that Overlord, and he drops. We do have a couple things moving out right now, kind of spreading out for vision. Getting this third base potentially saturated soon. Take a quick look at the unit count. There are 14 larvae ready for use here. Shazam's actually getting a little bit high on mineral resources. Maybe a little bit of trying to decide where he wants to go with this. He's being torn in multiple directions. I don't think there wasn't a supply block. Looks like he's deciding he's going to tech up the Hydras really quick to defend this threat. We have that one Oracle in position. These 2 Stargates not currently making. Oh, there we go. I was wrong. There's the 2 Oracles. There's the third one on the way. All right, so 2 Oracles do melt a Queen pretty good. Depends on... Yep, looks like they're going to clear that one out, back away, try not to get hit by that Spore Crawler, clear out a second Queen. Now, they can't necessarily do this right under the Spore Crawler, so they're going to have to find themselves an angle in which they want to do it. But on the other side of the map, you have a Link Flood. A couple of them getting hit by that Stasis Ward. Not a full run-in. Good eye, good control there by ShazamPoof. But these 2 Oracles are right behind... Oh, there it is again. That is the remainder of his army. That's absolutely going to put a stunt in a stunt. That's going to put a stop to all that aggression, at least until this timer runs out. And looks like these Oracles are in a position to do what they want to do with it. Maybe get us around here on these links. Yeah, looks like they're going to be on the outside. Interesting choice. We'll see how this works as links continue to go back home, and these links are just going to try to run away. Okay, I get it. He wasn't opening himself up to us around. He was just positioning himself in a way that when they ran away, he'd get a couple extra free shots on him. Good. So, taking a quick look around, we got a Queen, 2 Spores, really committing a lot to some static defense here. Those Oracles are an ever-present threat. You really don't want to afford them the ability to come in. It's the cost of each of these Spore Crawlers, however, is the cost of 3 drones. so it is a sacrifice. It's a strong defense if you need it, but if his opponent were to pull back, obviously, and pull away from air, we wouldn't see as much value added out of those spore crawlers. So the evolution chambers are there. We've got +1 complete. We don't have +2 on the way, but we do have Hydralisk range, and it looks like he's gathering up for maybe another assault here. Take a quick look. He's not fully saturated yet, so he's still droning up. 10 more drones on the way. Hoping to maybe finish out his economic. Graviton Catapult finished. Wait a minute. Carriers! Carriers. We've seen carriers today. We've seen them twice now. As these oracles going to find themselves in a tough position because that's a lot of Hydralisk, and they're going to fall down there as the damage output on Hydralisk is quite strong. He is going to see, however, the full gambit. Now, what do? You're like, oh no, there's a fleet beacon and 3 Stargates, and he's making a lot of carriers. Like, I think you do this. You have to go. You can't let carriers amass. But these are stasis fields, and depending on how ShazamPoof moves into this, he may give his opponent more time to mass carriers. He's got 3 carriers at a time coming. He's got, how many amount right now? He's got 3 out. He's got 3 in production. 6 carriers goes along. It doesn't necessarily matter how strong your tech switch to air was. That's dangerous. That's a hard pill to swallow. It's a carrier-sized pill. And it does look like he's going to get that stasis ward. He's not even going to activate the second one. He's going to keep trying to send 1 link at a time. But he knows there's carriers, and he knows every second there's more carriers. All right, so stasis wards are out. Stasis wards plus carriers plus adepts really do a number to this. He's just got to pull his adepts back. There's the stasis ward. It's going to trap a lot of banelings. And this has got to be a very frustrating fight here for ShazamPoof at this moment. It's just a wall, a technical wall that is stopping. 3 oracles do so much. And he's just continue to put down these stasis wards. He's going to engage this fight on his own terms. And there goes 2 stasis wards down activated. This half the army of ShazamPoof is now in a difficult place. Now, those aren't free. Those aren't free interceptors, but they're about to be free damage because Hydralisks are falling left and right. So much of this army just isn't there. You don't want to be fighting all this right now in this fashion. It's just melting away as he's actually opted to expand. ShazamPoof has opted to expand the other side of the map. If it wasn't enough, there stasis wards. Another set of stasis wards set off. This wall in here by the sentry. This is such a technical play here by eXiled. This has got to be one of the most frustrating things to play against. Excellent use, though, from eXiled. Excellent use of the stasis. Excellent use of the walls. Excellent use of the adepts as bait. Taking a moment to expand behind this, knowing his opponent has to be thinking the same thing. Oh, there were some shots fired over here that I missed. Behind this, if we take a look at the production tab, we have more carriers coming. We have a total of 8 carriers with 3 more in production. That is 11 carriers, 11 middle twit carriers that have been created here. This army, he just skips to tier 3 at this point. This is a tier 3 army. Does he need anything else? I mean, behind this, the answer seems, it's obviously Spire. You need to get Corruptors out, but if he gets so many carriers, that's a very hard thing to answer, even. He's got to go right to his own tech tier 3. He's got to get the Spire done. He's got to get Corruptors on the field, but how do you gave his opponent time to mass? Let's take a count of right now. Currently 9 carriers. All his army is in these 9 carriers. There's 115 army supply worth of army, and you can tell there's only a small number of adepts that back this up. I think that's another carrier coming in the backfield here to support this. As long as he stays aggressive, as long as he stays on the front foot, these go a long way. I know the banelings are nice and they're going to deal with the adepts, but he keeps moving them back. He shades them back, or even if they all die. He still has 9 carriers on the field, 10 carriers on the field. The 10th one about to catch up. 1 stalker there, going to help free up some supply. And there are the Corruptors that you brought in here to take care of the anti-air. But this army continues to melt forward. This is where you want to get as a Protoss. This is where you want to see your enemy fall back to. And there goes the game. 2-1 for eXiled. All right, one game away from closing out this series. Oh, nope, I did that the wrong order. 1-2. One game away from closing out this series. eXiled just needs to take the next game, and he will move on to the semifinals. But can he do it? Can he close it out here? Or will we see ShazamPoof power through and do the thing that he did, but with not carriers, but with whatever it is that Zerg have that's carriers, which is nothing? Like, is it? Oh my gosh, carriers are gross. I don't know how. If you, I think the answer to carriers, right? Answer to mass carriers is not letting them get to mass carriers. It's like, that's it. Like, why did you let your opponent get mass carriers? You lose, GG. Is there a Zerg answer? I think it's like the response. Like, the response I've seen is like spore crawlers and corruptors and lots of micro intensive, back and forth. But that's just late game Protoss is a very powerful thing to behold, and maybe we'll see it again. Maybe we'll just see an all-out Baneling bust. We can only hope and dream that handsome boy makes it to the end, right? That being said, no bias here at all. Game number 4 is on Black Pink Ellie, and that is a very fun name. It's 2 colors merged into one, Black Pink. If Backwater is Louisiana, Black Pink is we'll call it Gay Pride Parade. Black Pink. That didn't make any sense. I'm sorry. Black Pink. All right, ladies and gentlemen, game number 4 of a best of 5. The final match, maybe the final game of our best of 5 today. Spawning in the top right-hand corner. You know him, you love him. He runs this tournament. It is All In's ShazamPoof. His opponent giving the hearts in the bottom left, the light blue, the Protoss, the guy who amasses carriers and walks over his opponent. Once more with feeling, he says, eXiled. Nice, like, cheerful music in the background. Like, maybe we need, like, funeral proceeding right now instead of this, like, dun, da, 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 dun, dun, da, 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 going on. All right. This is again, we've seen this every game with eXiled. He puts down the pylon on the natural. He puts down a gateway, and then he moves across the map. And if he likes what he sees, he expands, and if he doesn't, he responds. At least that's what I'm seeing. Now, if he's just going to expand anyway, and this is just him getting real lucky, and then he should come out and say it. But I still think it's a very clever move. I see a lot of Protoss like to start up here before they feel safe. Rather start up in their main, wall off their main, and once they feel safe, they move down. But I like this combination of, all right, I'm safe now. I can now expand. This isn't coming in the next 1 minute. And so he's going to come over here, and he's going to put down his Cybernetics core. And we're going to see this again go into about the mid-game. At least about the mid-game. All right, so nothing crazy, nothing absolutely out of the ordinary yet. We did talk about Overlord placement before, and then we see he's coming over here to check this third. He's coming over here. He's going to be in position to check this third and get a scout later on. Very important, because whatever eXiled's been putting in this back location lately has been, his build, his tech, the path he's wanted to go for this game. And if he sees a heavy commitment to tech, that probably signals that he's going to want to push and be aggressive. The Zerg is very much about this responsiveness. So if you don't have the information, if you don't come in here and get what you need to get, you could find yourself on the back foot too fast. That being said, Twilight Council. 1 to 3 tech pass from the Twilight Council there, or just an avenue right to Archons or Templars or DTs. Really, at this point, eXiled could, as long as he wins one of the next 2 games, he could cheese both of these. One of the cheeses has to work, right? But we are going to get another commitment to Lings here from Shazam as he sits on just 5 drones on his natural, 8 more Lings on the way. Speed's about to finish. +1 is started. His opponent, on the other hand, there is that starport. We've seen it every game. We're also seeing Zealot legs. Definitely a commitment to Lings. We see 12 more Lings being made. We don't have a Baneling nest, so it looks like maybe just a strong +1 speedling push at the front. Overlord speed being made, so maybe just a really massive drop that's going to come from this side of the map. Maybe some more queens being amassed in here. Hey, Tool SC, thank you for the follow. Thanks for joining us today as we work on the round of 8 of the All Invitational. Yes, so many options here. It's going to be interesting to see where this evolves. So there's 18 more Lings on the way. Speed's about to finish for the Overlords. So we'll see what he decides to do with this. Maybe coming in from both sides and really applying the pressure. And this is always interesting because we have so much tech here. Phoenix isn't going to help against the Lings. We just have a tech path, a pretty standard tech path for the purchase of Lings. Now these Phoenixes are going to see it, but they're going to get in. Like, these Lings are going to drop. They're probably going to drop completely and entirely. Maybe even get elevated up here a second time as the Lings push into the front. Actually, 2 Phoenixes here. Doesn't look like he's going to get a second round of Lings into this. Not into the Overlords. He's actually now got to worry about both the supply and getting into this position as he's able to get most of these units cleaned up here. But Zealot Legs is finished. He's really got to be committing a heck of a lot of Lings to this side to get something done. Every other swing of this Adept is going to be a dead Ling. But he is, honestly, he's getting tech structures. There went the Cybernetics Core. Only Zealots. Now, that's fine because he just wanted Zealots. But as it turns out, Zealots don't shoot past the wall. So, nice job there. I'm glad you have Zealot legs. But this wall is going to fall. Can you produce enough Zealots to push back the flood of Lings as ShazamPoof continues to just throw his face against this wall? Actually, there goes the other Cybernetics Core. I didn't catch that. He put it down in response. And right behind the back door, there was more Lings being sent into this. 11 probes going down here. The Lings are now in. The wall is broken. The Lings get us around. And there's a GG, and eXiled taps out. Shazam takes the second game, tying it up 2-2. We're going to go to game number 5. Oh. 2-2. Anybody's game here, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody can go to the semifinals. We have seen, if I think back to this, if it gets to the mid to the late game, if it gets to the mid game, hell, there were carriers in the mid game. It seems to be that eXiled has the advantage. Tom has every time ShazamPoof has had I wouldn't call it a trick up his sleeve, but an aggressive strategy. Every time he's forced his player to respond to a flood of something, whether it was Bane's, Lings, and Mutas the first time, it was just Lings the second time with drops coming in from both sides. Very Scarlet-esque play there. He's controlled it. So this game, does ShazamPoof continue with that aggressive play? Does eXiled try to be even more defensive? He even gets in there for that scout each time and finds himself safe, finds a 17 hatch. But that 17 hatch very quickly becomes just 5 drones and a lot of Lings or a lot of Mutas coming across the field. This is very strong, very good aggressive play from ShazamPoof. So we'll kind of see what we see, what evolution we see from eXiled. Maybe if he had gone Glaives, that wall would have been easier held, or maybe he doesn't do Zealots this time. Maybe he cannon rushes. We'll see. As we get into game number 5 on Catalyst LE, we're going to go ahead and load in the last game of the round of 8. We have gotten to game 5. This is going to determine who is the 4th man in the semifinals. All right. And after this, I should have a Blood Bowl game. And if I don't right away, I'll play some more Starcraft, because that's what we're here for. This is what this channel is. It was originally uncommon Starcraft, but we try to go a little more universal, right? Bam, bam, bam. It is 2-2 and a best of 5. We're now on everybody's favorite map. Spawning in the top left-hand corner, Scarlet Jr. In the green, it is ShazamPoof. In the bottom right, the technical chops of Mozart. Mozart has technical chops, right? Dropping down stasis wards and shields and carriers, hiding carriers until the 10-minute mark. We've seen some fantastic Protoss play. The ultimate spellcaster, it is eXiled. We can see his response here. Does it change up? Does he shift? We see him throw down the gateway. And he's not scouting? No, he is scouting. He is scouting, just not as quickly or swiftly as before. Maybe a little pressure's on right now. This is game number 5, and he could lose it to a Baneling bust. Or he could win it to carriers. Anything could happen. This could be anybody's game here. Alright, Prob's going to come over here. He's going to see the hatch. He's going to feel safe enough. And he's going to possibly put down. There he goes. Oh, double gate. He has changed it up. This is different. Now, this started to look like his adept play from before, where it looked like he was sending 2 adepts across the map, but he changed his mind and ended up making it an adept wall. So this is where he went carrier. This was the same build where he went carrier. I thought we were going to go push adepts across the map because of this. I thought he was going to keep this pathway. So we are just going to see an adept come over here, kind of poke around, get some more information, a second look, and maybe try to get some damage done if ShazamPoof isn't ready. But he still expands behind it. His opponent, on the other hand, 6 slings coming out, 2 queens. Do we see drones? Definitely not, no drops yet. So nothing crazy apparent here. And there are the drones. So it looks like we're shifting into something fairly normal, fairly economic. He's going to chrono out some additional adepts here. And there go the first 2. This time 2 across the map. Now in the past, lings have met this part way. But this is 2. These can handle a flood of lings without having to run away. So we'll see what they get done here. As every time they fire, they get rid of a ling. They're going to go ahead and send their shades up. And they're going to let them finish right here at the top. Chase and get the queen to chase him off of creep. And actually shading back out, getting all the zerglings, actually almost pulling the queens out of position before shading back out of here. 3 queens now on the field, though. Always smart, keep making queens. Coming back here, 2 more adepts in position on the wall. Kind of a double wall there with, here's the tech. It is Stargate Twilight Council. So we'll see if this is a shift, harder shift into adepts, or maybe a shift out of it. So just a moment here is we now have 3 queens and a layer, and that was or was not spotted. Was not spotted by his opponent. He has not seen the layer tech. So what he decides to do with this layer is a Hydralisk Den. So we are seeing kind of this teching up, really quick teching up here from Shazam, which in the past has been hyper aggression in just a few minutes. Phoenix is already out there. He doesn't want to lose. He doesn't want to lose to this kind of cheeky aggression play. He's going to try to get in here and get some vision on something, but he's got to make overlords behind this. He's going to start getting himself, supply blocked, because this is the next one to go, and it's only a matter of time before he finds some of these other ones out in the middle of the field. But there's the Baneling nest. There's Hydralisk range. Interesting, no spore crawlers yet. Though we don't actually have any commitment to. We don't have a commitment to Oracle. Oh, we do have a commitment to Oracle. I'm in the production tab and I don't see that. Oh, nope, it's supply blocked. His eXiled is supply blocked and isn't currently crafting anything. And there's 2 crystals being thrown down there to try to fix that problem. There's the Oracle already out on the map. And we don't have Spore Crawlers in position, even though he knows there's a Stargate. So he's pushing for something. Maybe we must just meet this with Hydras, have Hydras in position. There are 4 being created now. Baneling Speed. So Lingbane Hydra looks like out of ShazamPoof. And he's going to run into this Oracle real soon here. Queen's going to get a couple pop shots on this. Ling's running up to guard that ramp as his Queens respond, get tagged. He sees everything. He sees the Hydralisk Den. He sees that it's morphing. He's going to have range out on this Hydralisk. His Queen continue to try to keep this Oracle away. Kind of zoned it out. All right, there goes the robotics facilities going down. He sees Hydra, so we might see maybe an Immortal and Tech and a Colossus. He's done it before, but it looks like he's got a lot of air. He wants to move out and take his third base. He's feeling safe. I wouldn't right now. Honestly, I wouldn't feel safe. There is no third. There's something coming. And the taking of this third from this Protoss might be a bad call. But if he defends it, obviously if he defends it, he's in a much better position. So we are in full 2 saturated base. Like if he was going to expand, he would do it with this attack. If he doesn't expand, this is everything. This is everything he has. He does have Baneling Speed. He has Hydralisk range. He's going to have Hydralisk Speed. He's popping out more Lings and more Banelings to join this. He's actually sending his Banes down over here to this third location. We do have some Immortals on the way. Not the best units to face off on Hydralisk, but never a bad unit. The Stasis Wards, though, we have seen these Stasis Wards disgustingly be used pretty disgustingly in the past. Oh, they're going to find themselves facing Hydras. He does know the army's there now. He's got to recognize that there's a Stasis Ward. Oh my gosh, half the army is put away. But really with these Banelings, he could rally and protect them. He's got some Lings coming across the map. As long as he waits for his 18 Lings to meet up with the army, he can do something. Oh, great. Absolutely disgusting hits on his Banelings. Way to pull back. He knows he's got an army in the rear to support it. But these Adepts are, well, I mean, they got glaives, but from the rear, the rest of those units actually come up from behind. They unfroze and came and joined the fight. It looks like he might get this third base, as everybody's kind of got to pull back for the second base. He's going to put down some stasis swords, kind of control this territory. Wait a minute, am I not? We're getting a second layer, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting 2-layer play. Ooh, he's going for the disruptor. He gets that disruptor. He sees stasis sword. He now has the overseer to get that kill. Some probes actually moving into position there. He's going to get a couple probes. Double layer play here from Shazam is very, very top notch. If he did, oh no! Oh, good disruptor hits there from eXiled. As the disruptor try to get away and baits in a couple more Lings. And this is going to push back, and eXiled's going to be secure. This commitment here to Shazam, by Shazam, may only put him in further danger. These might be poor rallies coming across the map, and he realizes it now. He's going to sacrifice that one Hydralisk and pull back. It looks like he's doubling down on this all-in, though. He did get the base, so we can theoretically take this. He can take his base. There we go. He can take his base. He's kind of reset the timing. We're going to go into a mid-late game, but we've seen eXiled. Once he starts to get all these really high technical units, this late game is his territory. We do have another Hydralisk. Kind of, hey, Hydra. Hey, buddy. Where you going? You going right there? Look at that tiny head. That's such a tiny head. Like, are you kidding me? When I look at my 1v1 rank, this is such a big head. It's like this huge, massive knob, but this is just, look at that tiny head. All right, enough of tiny head. Good clump of Hydralisk there. We're kind of taking a look. Take a look at the drone count. It is 50-51. The army supply is 36-53 in favor of Protoss, who is actually taking a big move out right now. And they're going to meet right here. A Void Ray kind of in the fight here. Only one type, and this is this thing. So Protoss has a great ability to mass multiple units. We have this Disruptor with so much damage to light units. We have this Adept with so much damage to light units. And what do we have? We have nothing but light units here from Zerg. Great splits there, avoiding Disruptor shots. I was really really thinking that was going to connect well. And behind this, in the protection tab, you can see he's pulling out roaches to deal with some of these, light unit game enders. And, if you can't take the fight directly, you got to get in here and take it to the opponent. If he gets a couple disruptors out of this, shaving off so many more Hydras as ShazamPoof gets the damage he can get done. But he's going to have to run soon. This is not the fight he wants to take. He's going to get a couple of depths out of this, but he's going to lose the rest of his army. There goes the Disruptor finishing it off. And right now the army supply is 60 to 20. This march across the map may just be all eXiled needs to close out this game. A little late here on getting the workers and trying to double down and double expand here. Shazam is going to have to face this massive force. We'll take a look at the upgrades. Even +1 shields. The one thing that everybody in this army gets is this very well-rounded army. Even an Immortal hiding him back there for that one roach that we know is starting to show up now. Sacrificing this base, using this as a assault tactic, he's going to take these rocks down, buy himself some more time to get an army. If anything, Zerg is really good at stalling for time and getting some stuff up. So you see another hatchery there to make sure he's got the larva. He's trying to spend some of that extra money as he doesn't quite have. He's got like 2 larvae now. He's struggling to get these injects. A little bit of extra energy on that queen. A lot of extra energy on that queen. Just these injects. New queen over there. Not killing him. He's got so many roaches, but he doesn't have anything that shoots up. He needs to, there we go, get some Ravagers into this fight. Get some really good biles if he hopes to do this. Now his opponent's just moved around now. One Hydralisk in that fight. Oh, absolutely disgusting disruptor. You just got to run from that. Oh, it's GG. Goner GG with the 200 cheers. Thank you, brother. You are the man. I don't know where you're getting all this stuff. That voice is like satin or silk in my ears, he says. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. As we heat up to the what might be the climax. Which might be the climax of this best of 5 between eXiled and ShazamPoof. These biles, it's all going to be about biles. If he gets the right biles, he get in the game. If he doesn't, it's game over. But he absolutely gets wasted by disruptor play. It's some great disruptor balls going in as the army just shaves off Ravager after Ravager after Ravager, keeping this as he's got nearly triple the army supply as his opponent. These Ravagers about to get another set of shots in their direction. Immortal's joining the fight as he's so many disruptor shots being shown one right after the other. He's got Phoenixes for lifting. He's got Oracles for stasis wards. And if anything, he's great. He is absolutely fantastic at the stasis ward play. One bile. He's using one bile at a time to keep his opponent away. As eXiled is playing this incredibly safe, taking only the fights he wants to take. Behind this, more Immortals, more Disruptors. I see Interceptors, which means there's a carrier somewhere on this battlefield that we're not even looking at right now. There are carriers moving in this direction. I'm going to take a quick look at the map. There he is. There's a carrier right there. Not even in the play right now. If ShazamPoof manages to hold this and defend this, he's got carriers to deal with now as they're coming out 2 at a time. More Disruptors, absolutely gross Disruptor shots. And I can't fault ShazamPoof for not tapping out here. This is it. Absolutely great dodges there. Only losing a couple roaches, but he's not doing any damage in return. Slowly building up, though. We look at the army supply. It went from 90 versus 30 to 110 versus 70. He's closing the gap. And it's going to be about this control. And this is the thing that we've seen out of eXiled. That was absolutely fantastic control. He's got stasis wards here, so we can go back and micro his army. He's got so much energy on all of these oracles. He's going to continue to try to bait shots out while taking this third. That disruptor, that preemptive disruptor shot, keeping the army back. Now he's got his opponent on 2 bases that have been mining out for so much time. He's got a stasis ward there. He can safely come back while his disruptors recharge. He's going to force more stasis wards out, which is going to bait more disruptor shots, which is going to bait more stasis wards. This is so technical of a play right here. The Void Ray even getting in pop shots of damage as he's now kind of in this, like, does he sacrifice this army? Does he try to get the damage he can with this army? It's 88 to 118. Like, you don't want most of your army frozen, and the disruptor shots come in here and make sure that this can't happen. More disruptor shots being fired. Void Ray is going down. There's another stasis ward. This has have to be the most frustrating thing to play against. And I've seen Tom rage, and what surprised me is he's kind of absolutely misrally there as they fall. You can't lose this many more units. He's closed it from 1/3 to the army to someone half, but when you're dealing with numbers of high as 122 to 64, this is very dangerous. So the stasis wards continue to go down. I have never seen in this level of play such a high use of these wards. We do have the overseers now. They're gonna get in here to help him maybe clear out some of these stasis wards. And while this doesn't, it's not even a large army he's sitting on the other side of. The disruptors are magic. The immortals are doing great things against the roaches. It's just a very hard army to play with. Almost using most of his army as a shield for disruptor shots, not doing much more with the adepts, not doing much with the void rays, just kind of being there as a meat shield, which is really maybe why he's not closing this game out so fast. Is he might be being too technical, but it doesn't matter. When you look back at his base, and he's got there's a small counterattack there. He's got a handful of. I actually love this play from Shazam, getting over here trying to find some damage, but he's going to see the carriers that he's been hiding all game, of which there are 3 and 2 more on the way. And that's got to hurt. He knows he's got to close this out, but he lost so much of his army to another stasis ward. He's still on 2 bases. He's almost entirely mined out of his natural. 10 out of 2 there, 14 out of 8 there. He's running on fumes. Absolutely. And then, again, most of his army isn't even there. And that's a GG, and he's tapped out. eXiled takes this. Best of 5, 3-2. With an excellent series of games and showing us just a mastery, an absolute mastery of Protoss. GG. And thank you all for watching. This has been both an exhausting and a fantastic series of games. Tune in early next week when we go over the best of 4, and we move on to the final shortly after that, which hopefully we will be doing live. So look at this. Oh my God. Gunner coming in with another 100 cheers. He says 100 rip Shazam. You're right, Shazam's fighting a war on 2 fronts, but we'll get into that after I close out the recorded portion of this video. Thank you for watching. I'm actually going to pull in. I'm going to see if I can pull in one of you fellas to talk about this game we just watched. But that being said, thanks for watching. I'll see you early next week. Stay tuned to the All Invitational chat in All In, and we'll have that scheduled for the best of 4 cast and the grand finals shortly after. So, hello, thank you. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever it is you guys like to do on social media. Call me a butthead on YouTube. It don't matter. I like hearing from you. Go play some Starcraft.